Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app, available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning.
You probably heard Friday, but we've got the tickets. Motley Crue and Def Leppard.
Rock and roll!
Their World Stadium Tour will be here in Tulsa on August 16th over at TU. Tickets available through Ticketmaster. We've got best and worst of the weekend. We've got our listeners are awesome. Jeff Hensley will be in the studio. If you have a question about divorce, custody, guardianship, any of those things, Jeff will answer them when he's in with us at 9. Always an educational experience for me.
Yep, always learn something new.
And we've been doing it for years. So if you have a question, doesn't matter if we've heard it before, we want you to ask it. Again, he'll be in at 9. Get your question to us ahead of time. show@KMOD.com is the email address, or you can text it, BMMS and whatever that is, to 82945. And we've got our final hero that we're recognizing, the unsung hero in your life. Hey, heroes, you rock. Doesn't matter, first responder, teacher, maybe somebody in your church. We met the most crazy, amazing person on Wednesday. This woman had a baby that was in the NICU. And then when her baby got healthy and good, she started a charity to provide things for people in the NICU. And a lot of times people that have a baby in the NICU, it is very early. Our first child we had out of the NICU was in the NICU, and that baby was born on the day we were supposed to have our baby shower.
Oh.
So we didn't have everything. And that's what this lady does, is help provide things for people, whether it be gift cards while they're in the NICU. Because I don't know if anybody knows this, but usually the mama stays right there.
Yeah.
And does not leave. Or gas cards to go back and forth. Or, my kid was in the NICU for 14 days. And some people can't take off work that long.
Right.
And so it's just a cool thing that she does. She provides, this is crazy to think about, grief bags for people that lose a baby that was in the NICU. Just little things like that. Her and her daughter do this.
That's it. Not a team of people. Nope. Just
she says some of the kids at the high school help out with some volunteer hours, making things. She served over 400 families last year. Crazy.
It's amazing.
Yes. That's the kind of thing we're looking for. People that are the unsung heroes in our community. U.S. Cellular helping us out, and they have been amazing. Who would have guessed this last one touched them really personally? It was an unbelievable moment. And that's what we want to hear from. People that are the unsung heroes in your life. This is our last week. So you can go to the contest page at KMOD.com, and you will see the link there. Fill out all the information. And then on Wednesday, we're going to award somebody our unsung hero and provide some cool things to them just for being selfless. It's very cool to bear witness to that. So, hey, heroes.
You rock.
Christmas is so close, right? And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. What are we looking like? A week? Just over a week.
Holy 13 days.
Holy.
Yeah.
So almost 2 complete
Almost
works.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. And Christmas movies are in full force, right?
Yeah.
My kids are like, hey, can we watch Santa Claus? And I was like, well, no.
Right.
With Tim Allen?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was going to say, come on. Now.
I'm not a big Tim Allen fan, but
Same.
yeah. Yeah. People forget he trafficked an intense amount of cocaine, but whatever.
Yeah, well, he was younger.
It was an
then.
intense amount. It was a crazy number.
It was the 70s.
Sure.
Things were different then.
Sure. He owned slaves. It was a different time.
Home
Whatever.
Improvement was fine, and then everything else was just.
Nonetheless. So Christmas movies, and I just saw a list that like the top Christmas movies in each state.
Oh, that's fun.
Great.
That's fun.
So what do you think? In Oklahoma, what is the top Christmas movie? Spoiler for you. almost overwhelmingly, this is the Christmas movie in every state.
Okay.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
I was going to say A Christmas Story.
Christmas Vacation, overwhelmingly.
Mhm.
Only a few states didn't even have it in their top 5.
Mhm.
Wow.
Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Puerto Rico. Those are the only states that didn't have it. It's a Wonderful Life showed up in like Alaska, Hawaii, Idaho. And okay, Nightmare Before Christmas was the top Christmas movie in South Dakota. Gremlins.
Is that a Christmas movie?
Gremlins was the number one in Puerto Rico.
Well, that's interesting.
Awesome.
In Delaware, The Shop Around the Corner.
Never heard of it.
that.
I've
no.
never heard of it.
Is that like the Christmas Shoes type movie? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Hmm.
There's a Christmas Shoes movie.
Yeah, yeah. You know the song, The Christmas Shoes?
Remind me.
Lord, I want to buy these
Don't
shoes.
sing
about
it.
The song about the kid in the shoe store buying for his mom who has cancer and doesn't know if she's going to make it through the night. Yeah, can't afford the shoes.
Yeah.
It was a TV movie.
It was a TV movie.
Oh,
Okay.
and that's
2002.
Okay.
It's got Rob Lowe in it, bro. Kimberly Williams Paisley, Maria Del Mar. That's just a few of them that are in there.
And that's the number 1 in Delaware.
You can watch it on Sling,
Hi,
Fubo TV, or
we're in
Philo.
Delaware.
Exactly.
Movie reference for those that don't know. So anyway, that led me down a rabbit hole, right? Because overwhelmingly Christmas Vacation, Love Actually's thrown in there in a couple places. Gremlins in Vermont, like I told you, as well as Puerto Rico. Edward Scissorhands in Georgia.
Is that a Christmas movie?
I guess so, but bear with me. So that led me down to these are the top 100 Christmas movies of all time. I'm obviously not going to tell you all 100, but can you guess any of the top 5?
Die Hard's got to be on
It's
there
number
somewhere.
2.
Yeah. It's a Christmas movie. It happens at a Christmas party.
It's so funny because we hosted some friends over on Saturday night, and this was a conversation.
How about you just start telling us when you don't host people?
I know, right? Exactly. No, but we talked about like Die Hard being a Christmas. We were like, yeah, we had this discussion before. It's a Christmas movie, whatever. But is that the thing? Like, as long as it has snow and if there's a Christmas scene, does that automatically make it a Christmas movie?
Yes,
Apparently.
Yes.
I
Step
guess
Brothers is
so.
considered a Christmas movie.
No,
What?
it's not.
Mhm.
Stop.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's not.
yeah,
I'm
man.
not buying that.
I mean, if Die Hard is, then this definitely should be.
I guess.
Step Brothers should be.
Yep.
Okay, so top 5 Christmas movies.
So he's got Die Hard. Can you think of another one?
If Die Hard's on there, then I'm gonna say Home Alone is on there.
Home Alone was number 4.
Okay, so I made it in the top 5. You got to pick? Give
Number
me-
5 is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, then Home Alone, then A Christmas Carol from 1951, and then Die Hard, and then It's a Wonderful Life. So that's the list order, right? But if I sort it, I can sort it differently. And if I sort it by popularity, which I would think would be the most vote gets, right?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, number of votes. By number of votes, I'll sort it. Number 5 is It's a Wonderful Life, then Love Actually, then Edward Scissorhands, then Die Hard at number 1.
Wow.
I am
Nuts.
deeply against Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
Me
and people
too.
interpret that as I don't think it's a good movie. It's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
But it's a terroristic movie or
It's an
a
action
drama.
Yeah.
It's an action
Yes,
suspense
action.
movie.
Yes.
So-
Thank you.
These are the top 5 alternative Christmas movies because apparently Die Hard and Step Brothers is right along those lines of an alternative Christmas movie. All right. Step Brothers is number 5. Just Friends with who was that?
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Never seen it.
Mm-mm.
Rent.
Rent?
Uh-huh. And then Batman Returns from 1992.
So this says, besides the obvious Christmas timeline, Step Brothers counts as a Christmas movie because it snows how even the most broken, most dysfunctional families still need each other. Plus, it features Will Ferrell, who has become a household name around Christmas time thanks to the role. Huh? Will Ferrell's a Christmas name?
Yeah, because of the movie
Elf.
I mean,
That's
that's like saying Bruce Willis is a Christmas name.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he's in a Christmas movie
Right.
for sure.
Right. But if Will Ferrell's going to be, I mean, that was an entire Christmas movie. But think like, what was that, Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, that'd be like saying he's
a Christmas
He's
name.
not. I have not seen Step Brothers. And I know that's going to feel,
Wow.
one of my favorite terms we hear on the show. Really? Yeah, so I don't know the timeline. Is there I get the gist, but
there is a Christmas scene. There is, and remember the sleepwalking, and then they sleepwalk with the presents, and they bring the Christmas tree.
Christmas time,
the whole movie takes place during Christmas.
Not the entire movie, but
no.
a majority of it does.
There's probably 10 minutes of the movie is set in Christmas time.
Okay, so if that is the thing, right? If it just has to have any depiction of Christmas at all, then it is also a Halloween movie and a Thanksgiving movie and a summer movie.
Not necessarily, because there are no Halloween scenes in there. There are no Thanksgiving scenes in there.
I'm not saying Step Brothers. I'm saying movies in general that if they cover any part of the calendar year, apparently.
I get what you're saying. I think that it has to have at least a scene of said holiday. All right. So let's just say they have an Easter scene in the movie or whatever.
Don't they have a Thanksgiving scene?
I don't think so. I think it's just strictly Christmas. So that would make it an Easter movie or something. I think you have to cover at least one scene in the movie, has to cover a holiday in order for it to be considered that particular holiday movie.
The others that are on this list that are so crazy. Now, remember, I sorted 100 Christmas movies of all time by number of votes. I told you Edward Scissorhands was number 3. Number 6, Nightmare Before Christmas. Number 7, Shazam.
Yeah, with Sinbad.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know, the movie that never happened.
Right.
Batman Returns, number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a Christmas scene in that, but Batman Returns is not a Christmas movie.
You wouldn't think so. You don't consider it one, but it goes along with those alternative Christmas movies.
Number 14, Trading Places.
Oh, yeah, that's a total Christmas movie.
I don't call it a Christmas movie. There is a scene. What's that, Lindsay?
It's a comedy.
Well, of course, Elf is a comedy.
Yeah.
But to me, it is not a Christmas movie. And there's a fantastic scene where Dan Aykroyd dresses up as Santa to ruin he's all drunk.
Yeah.
He puts a whole smoked salmon fillet in his. It's one of my favorite scenes in a movie of all time. Puts it inside his vest, like opens up the Santa suit, slides it in there. And when he's on the bus, he pulls it out and he's so drunk and he just takes the bite, but the beard is in it. If you've ever worn a fake beard, you know what that taste is. And he just goes,
it's a great scene.
There's no way that was scripted.
No,
there's no
chance.
way that scene is scripted.
Chance. Here's a good question for you. If anybody's ever had smoked salmon, you know it kind of falls apart when you pick it up, right? So how is he going to fit that entire salmon without it falling apart? He pulls it out of his vest and it just doesn't crumble.
If it's done correctly, it won't fall apart. If it's falling apart, it's overcooked.
Well, then that must have been a well-cooked fish.
Yeah. My dad used to smoke salmon all the time.
Yeah.
And you could definitely pick it up.
Okay.
And it would be fine.
It's hilarious.
Whoever had the finer points of smoked salmon on their Bmms bingo card. So Bad Santa, I don't know if that's a Christmas movie, and I understand what people are going to argue on that. There is no Christmas spirit about it.
No, but that's the fun thing about it. It is a Christmas movie. It's just the opposite of any kind of Christmas movie you would typically see because he's so bad. I'm on my effing break. Spit salad everywhere.
Is Krampus a Christmas movie?
Yeah, because Krampus is the German version of Santa Claus that's all evil and it eats kids.
Why? It's the German version?
Well, I believe it.
So in Germany, they celebrate an evil Santa.
I guess so.
Wow.
Okay. Let's see. Miracle on 34th Street, of course, showing up there. Better Watch Out, which is so then would that make what's the evil Santa one? Deadly Night or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be a Christmas movie.
Exactly.
I don't think a horror movie can be a Christmas movie.
I don't either.
The entire theme is Christmas.
For me, the idea of a Christmas movie is it needs to celebrate the spirit of Christmas in some capacity, right? Not have a manger, not have something with a red bow on it.
Yeah.
For me.
Right.
So that's why movies like Die Hard don't check that box.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare Before Christmas is not about Christmas.
No, but it's got
It's about a town called Christmas.
Right,
Yep.
Right.
It's just got Christmas in the name.
Yeah.
That's it.
I do love it though. I love Christmas. Our neighborhood goes crazy with the lights. Insane.
fun.
On a street of 10, 9 of them have lights.
Really?
And they don't just have like a strand.
Right. They're decked out, huh?
Like total keep up with the Joneses BS.
Like Christmas Vacation kind of.
A couple of the houses, yeah.
Really, just over the top.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, huh?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can see it from space.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of lights, man. And I like lights. I think they're great. I like the decoration part of it. I don't like the electric bill that goes
Right.
with it.
I was just going to say, it's not 1980, dude. The lights are the amount of money you spend on Christmas lights usage.
Right.
December would easily be your lowest bill of the year.
You think so?
Absolutely.
How so?
Well, they're so
Because your
different
air
now.
condition is way more costly.
Right.
You won't think twice about running a degree smaller,
Mm-hmm.
right? And would cost you way more than running lights the whole month of December.
Right.
I bet if you looked at your electric bill
Mhm.
and you didn't have an electric heater, your electric bill in December would be the lowest.
Yeah, very well could be.
And I only know this because I just went through this with my mom
Okay.
because she was like, I don't know if I want my lights on past 10. It's so expensive. I'm like, it's not. The LED lights are not like that anymore.
Right.
Right. Some things have changed.
We can look through, and we looked through her bill, and December was the lowest bill.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it, man. People just go crazy. And lights aren't cheap.
No,
they
they're
are
not.
not. It's
No.
insane how expensive that stuff is.
But we do it
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, I love
because
it.
looks
I love it. My wife loves it too.
Yeah.
It makes her so happy
Yeah.
to have Christmas decorations up.
Do you guys put them up yourself or you pay somebody to do it?
On the outside,
Uh-huh.
I pay someone to put them up.
Right.
Yeah. Why?
Exactly.
You know
Why
when
do I gotta
people-
climb on the roof and risk falling off?
I know. Yeah. I know at least a handful of people that has traumatically damaged them
Yeah.
by doing that.
Right.
I ain't even want none of that smoke.
Mhm.
All right. So we got tickets to Molly Crew and Def Leppard we're going to give away. We've got best and worst of the weekend. Our listeners are awesome. Jeff Hensley's going to join us as well. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show. This is Tulsa's Morning Show.
Lotus Blossom.
Corbin.
Power Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
You are wrong, my friend.
You
Lotus-
might need to.
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa. Go ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a dispensary called Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold, not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
no, somatic,
they're
sure.
so close. All right, Indigo Day Spa or Dispensary. Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo Lindsay is a day
Yeah.
spa.
Oh,
So far, it's 4-2. Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone Day Spa or
Lindsay.
Dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay, you are correct on a comeback.
I've been
It's a-
there.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Right, of course. All right, Rosebuds Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm going to go dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct. Rosebuds is a dispensary, tied up 4-4. Jade Wellness Center, Day Spa
Corbin.
or
Lindsay.
Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a wellness, or that is a day spa.
Corbin. Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe Day Spa or
Corbin.
Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the
Yeah,
information that
who
was
cares if it's
given.
accurate?
Yeah. All right, Nature's Kiss, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin,
Corbin, yes.
that is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis, Day
Lindsay.
Spa or Dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right, so we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, Day Spa or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweets,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes you know it smells like
You're
a fig.
thinking medical marijuana.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Remember, this is for a big prize at the end of the
Sure.
at the end of the game here.
Sure.
You are going to love the prize that I have
Leftovers.
chosen for you.
Leftovers.
Right, it's a
Okay.
roach.
Right. Right.
Bong
And not
water.
the one you smoke.
It's the crumbs.
Laura Apothecary, Day
Lindsay.
Spa or Dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay is incorrect. The
Yeah, it's a
Laura
spa.
Apothecary is a day spa. Lucky Garden, day spa or dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That's a dispensary.
Lucky Garden, Corbin is a day spa. So far, we got 6 to Corbin and 5 to Lindsay. The Health Center, day spa or
Oh,
dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct. You sound like you've been there before.
To me, the name was just so obvious. There's no
Right.
way you're going to call an actual spa that.
Right, the Health Center. Supreme Heights, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct. All right, so we're looking at 8 to 5, Lindsay.
Okay.
All right, we're down in the home stretch of this thing. All right, the Enchanted Cottage, day
Corbin.
spa or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin is incorrect. That is a day spa.
Why are people calling here asking for that weed?
Got any specials on an ounce, man?
It's called Enchanted.
Wildflower, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right, Clover Patch, Tulsa, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
What's the score?
6 to 8, Corbin's
Okay.
lead. All right, the Merry Mind, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a dispensary. All right, the Relax Station, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9 to 6. Path to Wellness, day spa or dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a
Oh,
day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Was that the
wellness.
problem?
Uh-huh.
I thought it said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Heirloom, day spa or dispensary? Heirloom, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Heirloom is a day spa.
Mm.
You're still in the lead 9 to 6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Day
Spa.
spa or dispensary. The Tulsa Garden is a day spa. Good job, Lindsay.
Score.
We're looking at 9 to 7, Corbin's lead. Bella Roma Medical, day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin, Bella Roma Medical is a day spa. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Yes, you are correct, Lindsay. We are now 9 to 8, neck and neck. Who is going to win, day spa or dispensary, and walk away with a big, big prize? Stone Age Meds, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. The Stone Age Meds is a dispensary. Uptown Wellness, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. Uptown Wellness is a dispensary.
Really?
We only got 2 left here.
Okay.
All right. So we got a chance to tie it and a breaker if we can do this. All right. Pura, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin is correct. Pura is a dispensary, puts him with the win 10 to 8. I'll go ahead and give you the last one, see if you can guess it. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay would have been correct, which wouldn't matter because it's 10 to 9. Corbin is the big winner. Congratulations, Corbin.
What'd I get?
You want to know what you got?
Yeah.
My friend, I tell you, you have won my leftover potatoes. That's right, Corbin. I had
Listen,
dinner last
That's-
night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I'm actually kind of hungry, so I think that's a fantastic
This is
gift. And
perfect.
you're not a horrible cook,
No.
so that's great. But, I just think it's just an honor to win. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Lindsay. She put in a valiant effort.
Listen,
And,
Corbin,
I just appreciate the competitiveness. And, I'm just one guy on a team, and we're just a team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best I can.
well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right. So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea.
Oh.
Set right up front because nobody wants this. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a pack and you get
Yeah.
to take it home with
Again, you put
Twisted
zero
Tea.
effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could, and we'll make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place. His second isn't winning. So
Dude,
All right.
Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right, right.
item.
Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
this says I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. News quickies are stories we cover that you may have missed in the news, and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more. That place, facebook.com/BMMS69.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Mad Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Police find decomposing body of pregnant woman during arrest. This happened in Maryland. Police find a decomposing body of a pregnant woman in the home of a man they were arresting in connection with a separate alleged homicide that occurred last week. Montgomery County Police said on Friday they discovered the body when they arrested and charged Tory Moore, 31-year-old man, with shooting and killing a gas station convenience store employee. Police said Moore got into a fight with the gas station employee at the Dash Inn convenience store located in the Shell gas station. This happened around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday. A verbal dispute began. Moore approached the counter. It turned physical. Moore shot the guy multiple times in the chest with a handgun that he had hidden in his vest. The guy was pronounced dead at the scene. When officials obtained a no-knock search warrant for Moore's apartment, they searched it early Friday morning. They discovered the body in the apartment in advanced stages of decomposition.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Moore told authorities that he had been in a relationship with the woman and that she was 8 months pregnant when she died. He also told authorities that there had been some type of fight between the two of them about 1 month prior that led the victim to becoming deceased.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The number of times we've read stories where there's a decomposing body in a home makes me feel it is common.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Because we read more than what we probably should. I don't understand how people can live with a stank, even becoming nose blind to a decomposing body, man. That's just gnarly.
Yeah. So after the medical examiner's office, they're going to conduct an autopsy and figure out this woman's identification. Additional charges will be withheld until the cause and manner of death are determined. Now, the police did interview a neighbor, and he said that he's lived in this apartment complex for a couple years now. And he said, I did smell something, but it smelled like trash.
There's
I
no
just
way.
thought it smelled bad. Police said that they were a little bit amazed that they didn't receive any phone calls prior regarding maybe loud noises, arguments. You'd think that they would have assumed that they would have gotten noise complaints from the two of them or about the smell.
Unless it's just common in that area. Gimpy's
Yes.
talked about before where he lived somewhere and you'd hear gunshots.
For sure.
And where I live, if I hear gunshot, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're used to that, much like if you're used to a bad smell, a new bad smell doesn't throw you off.
Right, but the smell of a rotten body, any kind of dying, whether it's an animal or a human or whatever, that's a very distinct smell. And you can be like, well, yeah, that smells like something died.
Unless
And then you
it's a
never
bunch
know.
of rotting, like there's a lot of rotting things around there,
Okay.
like, raccoon carcasses or whatever. I'm just saying that, like, if you're used to this, if you live next to the horse factory,
Where they make glue and dog food.
weird smells aren't going to throw you off. You'll be like, the horse factory's not fired up again.
Yeah, that makes sense because my dad used to work for Marshall Durbin when we lived in Alabama. It's a chicken company, right?
Mhm.
And so he worked in the hatchery where there was a lot of dead chickens, and it smelled horrendous in there. But you get used to it because that's just the way that it is. So I could see if you're in some like an area like that, you're like, oh well, must be the chicken farm down the road.
And you worked in a fast food place, and your clothes and that fast food place just has a smell, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily a bad smell, but a distinct smell. And when you worked there, you were like blind to it.
Right, it's just part of it.
But a lot of dead bodies in people's homes, apparently.
That's weird, man. That's weird. Man arrested for having sex with a dog and then wrecking a nativity scene.
Speaking of weird.
Yeah.
So there's this dude. His name's Chad Mason. He's in his mid-30s. He decided to take his friend's Labradoodle for a walk about 4:30 in the afternoon. Did you see that curly
Dude, the
hair?
curls. Come on.
So about 4:30 in the afternoon last Sunday, he's like, hey, friend, I'm going to take your dog for a walk. And the friend's like, sure, why not? So he takes the dog for a walk, and then out of nowhere, Chad just stops and starts having sex with the dog in front of God and everybody. Well, at least a couple of adults and a child, anyhow. So one of the adult witnesses was like, hey, bro, stop fornicating with a dog in front of everybody. So Chad stops fornicating with the dog and then takes off into a nearby church where he goes in and totally wrecks the nativity scene and starts breaking potted plants, goes outside, starts throwing children's toys from the playground all around. But now police are hot on him. So he takes off and runs into another neighborhood, destroys a mailbox, tries to steal a car, didn't get very far. They ended up arresting him, taking him in, and he is expected in court later this month.
Question.
Jeez.
Now, because there was a nativity scene involved, if they were to make this into a movie, would that be considered a Christmas movie?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are porns that have some sort of Christmas theme with Santa or an elf.
Hey, all right. Really, they're just midgets.
Or
and
Mrs.
fat
Claus.
man.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the elves. I mean, have you ever walked behind a Labradoodle?
Right? The way they shake it.
Their gait? Come on, man.
Come on. Out of all the dogs to have sex with, though, I don't know if a Labradoodle's the
We are
one
not
to go.
having
No,
this
we are not.
conversation. Former city prosecutor admits to illegally obtaining phone records.
Oh.
So what I love about this story is the headline is so misleading, right? You hear it and you're like, what a scumbag, right?
Sure.
He prosecuted people for heinous crimes, but he obtained phone records illegally. Let me tell you, a former Baltimore homicide prosecutor has pled guilty to using his authority to stalk his exes. Adam, where are you going? What time is it? When are you coming back? Chandri admitted in federal court that he used his position to illegally get the phone records of women he dated, but it had nothing to do with criminal investigations. Prosecutors say Adam issued grand jury and trial subpoenas to get information between January in 2019 and April of 2021. He faces a maximum sentence of 15 years in federal prison for each of the 2 counts of fraud in obtaining records. He'll get sentenced in March.
Wow.
Come on, man. Just be like everybody else. Buy an AirTag.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Stalk your victims. I mean, your girlfriends that way.
I mean, some people steal Post-it notes from work. Some people get the phone numbers of their exes.
Yeah.
Dude, if you've ever dated a bank teller and then you don't date the bank teller anymore, she's looking up your account.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Just any way to like stay in some kind of connection?
Absolutely.
Good God, crazy bitches.
Yeah, it's crazy people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
The
they
I-
could be bitches too.
Dude, the idea that you think because, no, they're a bank teller, they would never do that. Are you kidding me, Pyle?
Mhm.
Yeah, right. All right. That's like the preacher's daughter, man. No, she's good. She's the preacher's daughter. She's hard.
I know people that have had access to private records, right? Guess what they do? They look up stuff, and I only know they do it because they tell me.
Right.
Mhm.
I've had people in positions of power look up stuff for me,
Oh, yeah.
and they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can't tell me it don't happen.
It happens.
He's just like, what are you doing? What would you be like? Who has time for that? That's
Right.
what I don't understand about people that act this way. When are you looking at these phone records?
Right.
And we're not talking about they're getting the phone bill and be like, oh, they called 9743 and for 42 minutes.
Right.
Who is this?
They're getting names and, and then they're probably stalking those people on
Yeah.
Facebook saying, oh, what kind of
Oh,
dude is she with now?
oh,
This guy.
I don't have time.
That's another job.
Mhm.
You're right, Lindsay. It is another job. It's another job you ain't getting paid for.
Exactly.
Right. But
It ain't better in your body. It ain't better in your diet. No.
Got nothing else to do, though. Why not?
I do love bearing witness to it, though. We got tickets to Def Leppard and Motley Crue. We'll give those away at 7:30. We'll do sports when we come back.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show. This is
He was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do, honestly. Just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time. And you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer.
Yeah,
it's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You S'd the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Nope.
Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm going to fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right. Bathrooms, though, clean that S up if you're having company come over.
Another one. Overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you still at 6, 8, get out.
Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is, too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet.
Yeah, you don't
to look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying it gives a vibe.
Why? What
Because
gives
you're
you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right.
everything.
Or don't
Yeah.
like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the
Mhm.
bowl? Yeah. Some people do that. Some
Mhm.
people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever,
Yeah.
that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that. But now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No?
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah. I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always, always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? You expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still,
Mhm.
you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No?
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house
Mhm.
and like looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh,
Ugh,
wow.
what do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that
Oh, I bet you
Look
have.
down my
No.
nose at you.
because life happens.
Mhm. Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
If you're
and
a
it looks
hoarder?
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already
Yeah.
know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house,
oh,
right?
no. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off guard.
away. No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering.
Or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think absolutely.
Mhm. But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever,
Yeah.
paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to
Kids.
judge, I'm judging, like, I'm going to judge the food.
Mm.
So I'm not going to judge, like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
Mhm.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. 'Cause you're right. Life happens.
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small
Oh,
children.
it's announced that'll be at the football stadium over there at TU in August. So be listening to win those tickets. But right now, let's see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
Well, USC quarterback Caleb Williams can now add Heisman Trophy winner to his resume. Just over a year ago, Williams was a freshman backup at Oklahoma. The voting wasn't even close, with Williams nabbing 544 first-place votes and 2,031 points. In his speech, Williams told the other three finalists, I may be standing up here today, but y'all get to go to the college football playoff. Guess you can't win them all.
Here's the audio
I
of
may
that.
be standing up here today, but y'all get to go to college football playoffs.
Yeah. People being pretty bitter too. OU fan being pretty bitter that he won, right?
Mm.
And yeah, I get it. It sucks if because you were like, he should have played here, but if he would have stayed,
Mm-hmm.
he wouldn't win the Heisman.
Right. Good point.
He just wasn't.
Yeah.
So he was a part of the program. You could be excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you just be a bitch.
A notable college football head coach is in the hospital. On Sunday, Mississippi State announced Mike Leach was transported by ambulance after suffering a personal health issue at his home earlier in the day. It comes after the 61-year-old recently told ESPN that he struggled with pneumonia during the season, but was since feeling better. Leach is in his third season with the school after stints at Texas Tech and Washington State.
Here, if you don't know who Mike Leach is, he's hilarious. This is him being asked a question after a victory.
We talked about on the broadcast how you hate candy corn. What's your favorite Halloween
candy corn? I mean, I completely hate candy corn. When I was a kid, well, gummy bears. Let's see, gummy bears for sure.
He just won a football game.
He's sitting here talking about candy.
Yeah.
The Haribo. It's got to be the Haribo ones.
He goes and goes.
The other thing I like is when they used to have the sprees in a box. Outstanding. You have to go to the dollar store to find it, but I do. And then the latest, you know, there's still candy innovation. Although a while back I found that Europe had better candy than we did overall, because they have gummy everything. And then, you know, they have those Nerds clusters, which is new.
The gummy.
Yeah, which is good. The Nerds clusters.
Yeah, he goes on and on about it.
I love it.
But apparently he is not doing well. He is in stable condition, but his family has to make some tough choices that apparently will all come to a head today.
Oh, my. That's too bad.
So I hope it's not the worst, but
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like it's good news.
And injuries continue.
By the way, I'd like to make an adjustment to my death pool. Go ahead.
Too late, bro.
Injuries continue to stack up for the Broncos. Quarterback Russell Wilson was ruled out with a concussion in Denver's 34-28 loss to the Chiefs yesterday. Wilson took a hard hit on a run down the field early in the fourth quarter and will be taken to the locker room for evaluation. The 34-year-old wouldn't return as backup, play the rest of the game for the Broncos. Wilson must clear the concussion protocol this week in order to play against the Cardinals on Sunday.
That was the most points they've scored all season.
Yeah.
All season, right?
Mhm.
All season.
All season. What did they end on 28 at 28?
I think so, yeah. And it should also, when he got injured, dude, he had an instant welt on his head. Massive.
Really?
Yeah.
Big old bump.
Yeah, he looked a little unconscious too.
Mhm.
We should not have. Chiefs should not have won that game. We played horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Embarrassingly bad.
A win's a win, man. Take it.
True, but
Doesn't
you
matter
can't,
how ugly it is.
yeah, but we're getting down to the nitty gritty now.
Yeah. That is your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOUD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 96 calories. Work.
You know what a shoe bill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look it
I
up.
mean,
Look up shoe bill stork. Shoe bill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre looking bird. It almost looks human like.
Got a giant honking
It
schnoz.
is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. And if I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound. A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful chirping or anything. It's a very loud noise.
mm-hmm.
The shoe bill stork. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick going to be?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see.
Dropping bombs?
Huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it
No,
flies?
it's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see them all a blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
Isn't that a fish?
See them all the time on the.
So it's the ones you see in the ponds, and they got the long
Yes,
legs and stuff
yes.
like that. Yeah.
Piranha.
The heron, yes.
Great blue heron.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Gimpy?
Can I say big?
Huh?
Big?
Bird.
Big bird. Okay.
Oh,
If we're going like a legit bird,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah. That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah. Flamingo or
That's
roadrunner,
true.
one of the two.
Yeah. Why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricassee penguin.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about getting, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome.
Okay.
And 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay. Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
10 being
Let's
awesome,
start.
0
Let's
being
start
nothing.
basic,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
I don't know.
Lindsay.
Oh, I'm a 10.
Okay. Gimpy.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
Oh.
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is
Just
no
the
chicken. No.
sauce
Yeah.
and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honking noodle too.
It's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2.
Wow.
If that. I'm struggling for a 2, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy.
Who's making it?
Whoever your favorites is.
It's even my mom's lasagna. That would like rank like a 2 or 3 for me, and that's because it's mom's. So lasagna, just in general,
Yeah.
that's a 1.
Chicken parmesan. Chicken parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the?
Nope.
That
no.
one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God.
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss that what was it last week, his lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu, I was like,
Mondo's great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's toast. Most of the time, it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil. And
Yes,
stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize it.
Yeah. Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1,
Tortellini,
4.
2.
peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on,
It's
or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
But like a
4.
bun, I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
fettuccine carbonara,
What's the carbonara? part?
bacon.
Oh,
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana,
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
meatball sub.
Oh God.
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I liked it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a Hello Fresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big 10 of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Sky Took. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Sky Took. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I like, it's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
Right. I worked there after college and their 5-cheese pasta, adding chicken to it was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious, just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
Man who killed Kevin Bacon charged with first-degree murder.
You mean 5th degree?
6th degree?
6th degree?
Yeah. So this happened in Michigan. A judge has decided that Mark Latunsky will face a charge of first-degree murder after a degree hearing. The murder degree hearing for Mark Latunsky continued for a second day. This happened last Wednesday. He admitted to killing and mutilating Kevin Bacon, who is 25 years old. In court, he accepted a plea into open murder. The hearing was for the judge to determine if Mark will be sentenced for a charge of first-degree or second-degree murder, and the judge decided on the former. Back in 2019, Kevin Bacon, his body was found in Latunsky's home. He and Kevin Bacon met on a dating app, according to investigators. Kevin's body was hung upside down with a slit throat, according to police. Investigators also say that the man's testicles were removed and eaten.
This is a thing. How many stories have we read about castrations?
Yeah. At least a small handful that I can think of. I didn't even mean to do that.
I know you didn't. I can tell just by the way you delivered it. Yeah. It feels like we've read, it happened. Coming up, we got tickets to see Motley Crue at Chapman Stadium in August. We've also got Our Listeners Are Awesome. And Jeff Hensley's going to join us. We do this with him to give you guys some help. There's a lot of questions that happen around divorce, a lot of misinformation from movies, from your friends. And this is an opportunity for you to get it from someone who is an officer of the court. So Jeff will be in at 9, and you can get your question to us ahead of time. The email address is show@kmod.com, or feel free to text it, BMMS and whatever that is, to 82945. Or you can ask for yourself via the phone lines when he's in at 9, when you can call 918-460-KMOD. We'll get to that later. But right now, best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? Lindsay, what's the best and what's the worst?
Worst. My grandmother, who suffers from dementia, she's been in a healthcare facility kind of on the mend, and she is a half hour away from where she lives. And I found out on Friday evening that my grandfather is now in a hospital where they live. And so my grandmother, I've been on the phone with her pretty much every day talking to her, and she's been kind of lonely because, the only person that lives by her only family is her husband. And so now he's not visiting her, and she doesn't really know why. She thinks that he works. Well, he doesn't. He's been retired for 20 some years. And, but the dementia, is taking over pretty rapidly. So now he's in the hospital, and
What's he in the hospital for?
we're not really sure.
Huh?
He has had diarrhea really for like 3 months, and they don't know why.
Yeah, that's
Like,
concerning.
nonstop.
Here's a fun question. How many days?
They
How
don't
ma-
know if it's
hold
from
on,
medicine.
hold on, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
How many days should you go with diarrhea before you alert a doctor? How many days do you think, Gimpy?
I'm going to say 2 weeks.
14 days before you
14
alert
days,
a
man.
doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
So he alerted his doctors.
I'm asking you now, Lindsay.
Yeah. Me, a week.
A week?
I would assume I got a stomach flu or something, you know? So, and that's what the doctors had assumed.
Okay. And then me,
No, you don't get to go.
because I only know this
Yeah.
because what I went through with one of my kids,
Mhm.
and it's 14 days.
14.
Yeah, before you alert a doc. It's nothing to be concerned about. However, I would think 3 months would be quite concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
So they ruled out a few things, like some of the medicines that he was taking. And then they ruled out like stress. He thought maybe, taking care of my grandmother, things like
Right.
that. Well, it's not going away. And, there's no fever along with it. Like, so he had to switch doctors recently. Like one of his doctors, I guess, retired or something. So he had to switch doctors. And so he called this new doctor and he said, go to the emergency room. And when he got there, they admitted him into the hospital. So, yeah.
The biggest complication I know with diarrhea is dehydration.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And I know he takes a lot of blood thinners and things of that nature. So yeah, it's just, and it's scary and it's sad because I'm not there. And like his daughter lives in Washington. Like there's just no one there for them.
Mhm.
And so all I have is the phone to talk to my grandmother, and I don't know his room number to talk to him. And yeah,
you should be able to
it's
call the
just-
hospital and get connected to him.
Yes, and that's what I will be doing today.
How long has he been in the hospital?
Since a Saturday morning.
Yikes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's grumpy and unhappy and
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
According to my aunt, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but on a happier note, on Saturday
Is this your
night-
best?
Yeah, this is my best.
Okay.
We did have some friends over on Saturday night, had them over for dinner and games, and
What'd you make?
that was fun. We made Italian beefs, venison
what are-
Italian beef
what's
sandwiches.
Italian- Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I didn't know what Italian beef was.
Yeah.
I still don't know what it is. You tell me it's a sandwich. I still have no idea.
I'm gonna guess it's got like basil on it.
There is
Some
basil
oregano.
in it,
Some dried
and
herbs.
oregano, and some peppers and onions, and we put it in the Instapot. But we use venison. A lot of people, use cow, and we use venison. And
So is it like a Philly?
I guess.
Is there cheese?
Yeah, mozzarella.
Is it like a bun?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
we
That's
cut
sounds
up.
like a Philly.
We cut
It's a
up. Yeah,
Philly, yeah.
we cut up French bread, and then they are delicious. And Kevin makes them, and he found this recipe. I don't know if he came up with it on his own or if one of his hunting buddies gave it to him.
Right.
But we did it a few years back, and it's become a staple every hunting season.
What makes it Italian?
Just the seasonings, I suppose.
And the cheese.
The French bread?
Right.
Yeah.
It's Italian
right.
bread in
Yes.
France.
Right. It's a baga.
Yeah. So good. I made I have this favorite little finger food appetizer, the English cucumbers. Are you a cucumber guy?
No, I
You like cucumbers?
Maybe the oddest question I've ever been asked on this show.
So, I know you don't like okra, Corbin, but are you a cucumber?
Yes.
You a no, but I do know what English cucumbers are for those that are uneducated.
Yeah.
Seedless.
Uncultured swine.
Yeah, it's seedless cucumbers.
And they're so much crunchier.
Sure.
Yes. So you chop those up and put a little goat cheese on top of those with your favorite. Usually it's like a fig jelly, or I used apricot preserves on top of that. Those three ingredients together are awesome.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. So that everyone loved that, and it was just a nice night with friends and lots of drinking. We made some cocktails that were really good.
Here you are trying to channel this, hunting thing of like, eating venison, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like goat cheese. With
Yeah.
the cucumber.
Right?
Not just the cucumber, an English cucumber with a little fig jam on top.
Yes.
Broad spectrum with you, girl.
Yes, absolutely.
It's hard to keep track.
I got to try it all.
Best and worst of the week at 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then whatever that is to 82945. Gimpy, what's the best? What's the worst?
Dude, I had such
What jam did you have on a vegetable?
No jam on my vegetable. Hey now. I had a pretty awesome weekend. It's hard to pick which would be the best, but I guess I'm going to have to go with the Abate Toy Run yesterday, dude. It was a great day for a run. We had like some 6,000 bikes out there delivering toys for the Marine Corps Toys for Tots.
Always huge.
Always a huge event. We had a different route this year, which I thought was pretty awesome. Typically, we would line up at the Expo Center, which we did this year, but then we ride downtown and park at the Guthrie Green. This year, we ended up at the Riverwalk in Jinx, which is the route was really cool because you got all these thousands of bikes, miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of motorcycles. And we go down 21st Street, down to Riverside, and we take Riverside all the way down through the tunnels over at the gathering place and all the loud bikes and pipes and blah, 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 and then landed at the Riverwalk, which I think is way better than going to the Guthrie Greens. I like the ride downtown. I love going downtown, but parking is a bitch once you get down there. So we had the entire Riverwalk parking lot from one end to the other, just filled with bikes. And it was an amazing event. Friends gathered together and
do you have to pay an entry fee for that, or do you have to bring a toy?
Just bring a toy, man.
What'd you bring?
I brought a couple Hot Wheels, and then there was some silly unicorn gift for a girl or whatever. And
why were you at the Christmas parade?
What do you mean? Why was I at? Oh, okay, because I wanted to go. I had seen on the Facebook.
It felt so like when I saw that you posted that, I was like, Gimpy was some broads involved.
That was my idea. It was my idea.
Was a broad involved?
There was a broad involved, but it was not her idea to go.
That's fine.
None at all whatsoever. And it wasn't even, I would have gone by myself had said Dame not been involved, right? Because I had seen on the Facebook page, they're like, they had a giant inflatable Tulsa Golden Driller. And they're like, hey, come watch it, float down the street at this, this year's Christmas parade. And I was like, well, that's cool. I want to see it because I was expecting something more Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade kind of.
Right, massive.
Yeah, massive. And you've got, 15 people and it's floating in the air. And then there goes Snoopy. And then there goes. That's what I was expecting. That's not what I got, but I was still happy with it. It was like
a Mylar balloon?
Those wacky, wild, incredible arm flailing tube?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they have the fan, or like maybe your bouncy house where they have the giant blowers that blows them up and they just stand there. It was like that.
Oh, okay.
It was on a deck that had wheels, rollers, and they were pushing it right on along.
How tall?
I would have to say he was at least, 40, 50 feet tall. He's a big bitch.
5 stories tall? Bigger than this building?
No. Okay, I take that. Maybe probably about 30 or so. It was tall. It was really tall. It was impressive. Massive balloon. So I went down there. I wanted to check it out because the last Christmas parade I was in was when I was in the marching band in high school. Okay. So I was like, well, this would be fun. It's all about me changing things up, the way that I've been doing things lately, just doing things different, stepping out of my norm. I told you, trying to learn how to play guitar, just try to do things differently. And I was like, you know what? This is not typically something that I would go do. So let's just go down there and check it out.
If you were going to survey the listeners of which of the 3 of us would be going to a Christmas parade, hand down, you would not make the top 3 of that list.
No, not even an honorable
Promo
mention.
Brady would get votes.
Yeah, and he ain't even part of the show.
Before you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought it was cool. And I was sitting there watching them go by, and I was like, you know what? I should Facebook Live this thing. So I did. I jumped on. I seen our gal Carla from our sister station, the Twister over there. She was with the Salvation Army, tossing out the candy. She was on their float one. I was like, well, that's cool. That's cool. Good for her. Good for them. Good for all those people.
So what's the worst then?
The worst part is I had a couple of people bail out on me last minute on the toy run. We had talked the night before. I've got a couple of extra bikes. My brother was supposed to get his neighbors or whatever, and we were all supposed to ride and get together. And then as I'm gathering things up in the morning, oh, hey, we're not going to make it this morning. I was like, well, that sucks. So I text my brother up, hey, no need to get Mike's bike, man. Brad bailed out on me. So I got Mama free. He's like, oh, I can't make it this morning either. A friend's car broke down. Excuse. All right, fine, whatever. Screw you guys. We're still going anyway. And we all met up at Kendall's, which is a bar on 15th. And dude, that place was packed. Breakfast, and which didn't last that long, by the way. But we just hung out and had some early morning cocktails, and went and rode. And it was a good time.
Best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? Best of the weekend is we were off because my kids were having their Christmas performances. And so I got to see that, which was awesome. And where my kids go to school, they do it perfectly. They don't do every grade and you got to sit through every grade to get through yours.
Nice.
They do just that grade.
Sweet.
Well, yeah.
So the problem with that then is you got to go multiple times, right?
Yeah, if you got them in different grades.
Yeah. But it was awesome. And it was cool to see the kids do that. It's interesting to watch my oldest get older and see her evolve, because it went from shy kids barely singing, right, with mostly a backing track the whole time,
Yeah,
and to them actually singing, which was fun. So it was very cool to see that. So that was the best of the weekend. Worst of the weekend was it was Wednesday night. My wife gets home and she goes, when I opened the garage door, a mouse ran into the garage.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay. She looked at me like I was supposed to do something. I didn't know what I was supposed. I'm making dinner. I'm like, okay.
Right. You want me to stop making dinner and go hunt it?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know should I close the garage door? And I was like, probably.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know what I was. You want me to go get a broom?
Well, yeah.
Or a flute?
Shoot, Thomas.
Yeah.
And so the next day I looked and there was a ton of mouse droppings in the garage. And one morning I could hear it like trying to chew on the wall.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so I'm one of these people that I don't care how much bug spray and mice deterrent costs. I will pay it. It's like sewage and trash. I don't care what they charge me.
Right. It's worth it.
It's going away.
Oh, yeah.
And I know where we live and bugs are going to happen and mice are going to I get all that. But I'm still going to do all I can to deter it.
Yeah.
And so I paid a guy to come out and put some stuff in, classic exterminator type of person. Oh, yeah, I got something for that. They love my stuff.
Right.
Which is a weird thing to say, but I trust him. So, yeah, get at it, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so I haven't heard him or seen any more droppings since, but
It's because he's dead in a wall somewhere.
dude, mice are crazy. Don't even get me started on that. I'll start tearing through walls again.
To find out it's an old rotten pumpkin.
Yeah. But I have found mouse droppings in place. I'm like, how did it get up there?
Right. You didn't know that they could scale
tricky.
walls, did you?
Wiry little bitches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then I also had blew all the leaves away from the edge of the house and blew them in my neighbor's yard. It was awesome.
Yeah. So what you do is you get yourself a python now and just release it in the house and let it go.
You mean another?
Right
So best and worst of the weekend. Best, finished an audit at work. Worst, kid caught hand, foot, and mouth.
Oh.
I got to be honest, of all the things your kid can get, hand, foot, and mouth ain't that bad.
Right.
I don't think my kids have ever had that one.
Yeah. Always, anytime we've been in a public water scenario, my kids get it.
Ugh.
That's when they break out with like a rash or something like
Yeah,
that. It's
and it
really
can-
not that big alarming.
No, but it can get pretty, if you don't stay on top of it, it can get pretty crusty and crack and be painful.
Gotcha.
But if you don't treat it, then if you treat it, it's not, compared to some of the other things kids get.
Yeah.
Right.
Best of the weekend, went to Zaza's for pickle pizza. Worst part, didn't think to get any pickle pizza to go.
Always get a pickle to go.
Best, returning from a week out of work, school from having the flu. Worst, heading back into work. Least I have a job. For best and worst of the weekend, I found a dispensary that carries the first place indoor winner from the Cowboy Cup, and I got to try some of that. Worst of the weekend, yesterday was my birthday. But it's the first time that I didn't get to hear happy birthday from my dad. I miss the hell out of him. But I keep my chin up. Yeah, that can be tough to deal with.
Goodbye, old friend.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Somebody tell me mouse parkour is how mice do it. I wouldn't call it parkour. Maybe they're Russian. All right, we got tickets to Motley Crue and Def Leppard. We're going to give away. They're going to be playing Chapman Stadium come August, so we'll give tickets away to that. We'll take a break.
The big
Protein.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too much protein in gas pains, not do the body good.
What makes you
for-
the gassiest when you eat it?
Probably steak, like beef.
Really?
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Broccoli is what does it for me.
For me too. Broccoli.
Yeah.
Always
I'm-
broccoli.
Broccoli for sure, but beef, the worst.
I usually don't have a lot of gas when it comes to eating, the meats.
I don't think I do either. I think it's more of a I got to go to the bathroom and I got to go to the bathroom right now.
Yeah,
when
that's true
When I eat
statement.
the beef.
Mhm.
Dude, no joke. Over the break, I don't know if there was like a tummy thing going around my house or what, but I was taking the trash out to the curb
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, I got to go like right now.
Right.
And I bet if I check my cameras, I'm literally like, I mean, I've had like what I thought were close calls,
Right.
but it'd been a minute since I had an accident in my pants.
Right.
You were like Flash.
And so I was walking and I was like, you know how you walk faster,
Oh, right.
but you're puckered?
Yes.
So you're like, oh gosh.
Right.
But I literally was like puckered and like, this is not working.
Right. One slight move and it's donezo.
It was like that scene in the movies where the dam is cracking.
Mm-hmm. Right. It starts.
Yeah.
I
You
get
need you need some gum chewed up.
Right. Stick your finger in the hole, something like that.
No, but yeah.
Well, stop the leak, you stick your finger in the dike, right? That's how that works.
It was like I don't like that. It was like the worst possible experience I've had in a while. I was like,
Wow.
damn.
Wow.
And earlier, my poor kids had been having tummy issues, and they had a couple of situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, come on, you got to be able to read that better. And here I am, walking down my driveway, like, oh God, and you try to run, but you can't because that shakes it up,
Absolutely.
creates a little
So did you make it in time?
barely.
Did you turn the fan on?
I didn't touch porcelain.
Wow.
Right. I've been there before.
I didn't touch porcelain.
Wow.
Sometimes I turn the fan on. It's the bathroom.
Right? It's your bathroom.
But you didn't shut
and
the
it has
door.
and I shut the door when I leave. Keep it
Okay.
in that area.
Mhm, yes.
You stay in here. I'm going to go. Gross.
Listen, y'all don't want to wear a mask. I don't know what you're worried about fart molecules in the air.
Right.
Oh, now masks work? Oh, okay.
Right. There's only two ways that you can pass a whiz quiz without using some kind of illegal substance. And that is one.
Broccoli?
No.
Oh.
Just naturally stopping. Okay. And cleaning yourself out. that
Surefire,
way.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's like, abstinence is the only way to guarantee not getting pregnant. Nonetheless,
Mhm.
the other way, which is only good for like an hour or two, maybe a day, is a flush. And that's just to drink a buttload of water, because when you do that, you're not urinating anything for your test, but just straight water.
Well, that's why when you buy those pee cleans, they're like, drink a ton of water,
Gee, I wonder
because
why.
it isn't that. It's
Mhm.
it's the flushing. Have you ever taken a marijuana drug test,
Yeah.
Lindsay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I passed.
Okay, what's the story?
Like
Like
just for a background check for a job. But I
in
don't
radio?
yeah. Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, the first radio station I ever worked at in South Dakota.
Huh.
Yeah. But at the time, I mean, I was 20 years old. So I wasn't really into pot so much. So it wasn't a big deal.
I didn't do the marijuana at the time.
And also, yes, I had to take one when I started substitute teaching. So back in Indiana, I had to take one. And again, I wasn't even back then a heavy pot smoker. So it wasn't enough like in my system to even
Are you a
worry
heavy
about
pot
it.
smoker now?
No, I'm
Oh, okay.
not.
Well, I just
So-
you were implying that you
Yeah,
weren't, so I didn't
yeah.
know if you were
So
now.
I've never
More of a
had
pot
to
eater.
worry about it. Yeah, it's never been in my system enough to even worry about it.
Gimpy, you said one. How many have you taken total in your whole?
One to get a job at Target.
Huh.
No, excuse me. I just lied to you. Sorry. The other job, 2, as a matter of fact. One to get a job at Target, and the other one was to get a job when I was selling parts, the job that I had before I got here. And I had failed that one. I had tried. I tried. I was like, all right.
I love that you put some sympathy tone on it. Like,
yeah.
I tried.
I did. I quit for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, all right, that should be good enough, right? I'm not. THC absorbs in your fat cells. I'm not a heavy guy, so therefore I thought it would flush it out a lot, sooner. It wouldn't stick around in my body as long as it did. So a couple of weeks go by. I'm like, all right, bet I'm good. I'm good. And I go down there and I take their whiz quiz. And it comes back. You tested positive for the marijuana,
and you hadn't smoked in how long?
It'd been a couple of weeks. I completely stopped.
It can hang. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like recent. I didn't think whiz was weeks.
No, it's the THC absorbs in your fat cells, so it stays in there for a while. And if you're a bigger, heavier dude and a heavy smoker, and that's another thing you got to think of, heavy smoker I was. But so therefore I thought, okay, a couple of weeks, I'm not a fat guy, I should be good, not taking into account the amount that I put into my body on a daily basis. Okay, so I failed that one, and they're like, all right, well, we'll give you another shot, but you got to wait for 6 months. You got
to get the job
to take another whiz quiz. So I was like, all right, fine.
6 months hardly makes sense.
That's what they told me, and I was like, bro, I really wanted this job,
So did you start the job, and then in 6 months they tested you?
No, I couldn't get the job until they tested me, and I tested positive. So for 6 months, I go straight. I quit completely for those 6 months.
Impressive.
And I know.
Very
right?
much so.
And so I took my test, I passed it with flying colors, and then I started back up again. And I tell you what, it has not been the same since. The very first time I got roasted after not doing it for 6 months, I was like, it messed with my mind so much. I was like, this is not what I remember it being. Oh, it's because my tolerance dropped. I was like, well, I guess we're just going to have to build it back up. But you're talking, from 16 to 25. So 9 years of just steady smoking all day, every day. My tolerance was way up there. So I was like, I guess we'll have to start all over again.
Challenge accepted.
Yep.
I worked at The Edge, and the company that owned them in another market, they own a newspaper service, and the newspaper, one of the delivery guys that delivered the paper in the morning to, the stands or whatever, hit a kid and killed a kid, and they tested him, and he was high. So they were like, we're drug testing everyone. And so they instituted a drug policy where you had to do a random drug testing. I go to London to see Kings of Leon. And then when I come back, they call me into the office like right away.
Right.
And they're like, hey, and I was friends with the business manager. He's like, hey, you have 24 hours after I hand this to you to go take a drug test. Would you like me to hand it to you? And I was like, no. And he's like, all right, tomorrow morning I have to hand it to you. So whatever you need to get taken care of.
Right.
And so I went and bought like pea clean, like,
all the stuff,
broccoli, whatever. Got a 1 second game, 1 second of a famous television show's theme song. If you guess it correctly, you're getting tickets to see Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Alice Cooper over at Chapman Stadium at TU in August. Tickets on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.com. Pre-sales already happening if you have those codes. So we will play the 1 second game. Famous television shows theme song. 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. Call up, decide which, listen to the clue. Tell me what show it is. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Christopher Smith.
Hello, Christopher Smith. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. 1 second, famous television show's theme song. You guess it correctly. You're getting the tickets from Motley Crue and Def Leppard. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Here it is. One more. What is it?
Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman is correct, man.
The snowman
You know your children's animated TV shows, man. Hang on the line so Gimpy can get your info, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thought it'd be seasonal.
Yeah, very nice.
Why the hell not?
Watch a show about a kid stealing kid's hat, a magician's hat.
It blew away, Corbin. They found it. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. Come on, man.
I don't think so.
That's a motto we all live by.
You know, we talked last week about Christmas movies and their weird things.
Yeah.
And I saw a meme for Home Alone that was like, this is so true. The craziest thing about Home Alone is that family slept into 8 a.m. with all those kids in that house.
Yeah.
Truth.
Good point. No kidding.
Right?
I mean, it's a big house.
Yeah.
But
Well, somebody was up at 6 o'clock just mad at the world.
Right.
Just laying in bed being pissed because all the kids won't stop making noise.
Yeah. We started watching White Lotus.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's on HBO. It's getting a lot of traction, a lot of people talking about it. It's okay. It's a very bizarre show. If I could give it a sell, if you don't like very weird, artsy things, then you wouldn't like it. But here's one tip. What's that? Alexandria Daddario? Yeah. You see her boobie in it.
Nice. Just one.
Yeah. So far.
Maybe we'll get lucky and see the other one.
So far. And you see her in some rockin' swimsuits.
Nice.
Which is fun. So that doesn't suck. And then there's a show. I don't know if Gimpy has seen this. You don't have Netflix, do you?
Nah, man.
Apparently there's a show. It's called Western Nun. And it is a TV show about this woman who's recruited to be a mercenary for the church.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of futuristic things involved in it. I've only watched half of one episode. And it's very bizarre, but I think it's in Gimpy's wheelhouse for sure. It's not Lindsay's at all.
Okay.
But Gimpy's, I feel like it is. And then I got caught up on Yellowstone. I haven't watched last night's. Got to be honest, I'm exhausted by this show.
Yeah, why so?
It's just so over the top. Everything is dramatic.
Warrior Nun. Is
Warrior
the name.
Nun,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, because I was looking for it, couldn't find it. But I mean, that's just part of the gig, man.
Everything is a 10 with that family.
Yeah.
And Beth is just the scene with them fighting.
Uh-huh.
And it's just stupid.
It's pretty awesome, though.
And now they're best friends.
Well, of course.
Stop.
That's how it works on the
No,
ranch,
that's
man.
not how it
You
works.
beat the S out of each other until you're tired of it, and then you're good friends after that. Yep. You don't remember like in high school or, middle school, you get in a fight with somebody and you both have, in school suspension and now you're stuck next to each other.
No.
And then you become best of friends after that.
No, I saw
only
multiple
TV movies, huh?
I only saw that multiple times happen, and nobody became friends with the person they just got suspension because of, or ass whooped by, or whooped ass.
Yeah. Well, another person died on last night's episode.
Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name? The redheaded kid that went to Texas.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
I was wondering the same thing myself last night.
They devote all that time to that character in the last season, and now just boom.
Yeah, we got other things to worry about right now, with dead wolves, and then of course this coming on with the Native American tribes and of course the taking over or the selling of the one business. There's a lot going on. And then Jamie's being seduced by that gal who's working for the other people, and now spoiler alert, she's trying to convince him to become governor.
Yeah.
To take over for daddy.
She's a 10, by the way.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And Jamie's right. He's like, you were out of my league. What are you doing here?
You're right. He knows what's up, but he don't care. He's so stupid.
I can't say that I blame him.
He's a stupid. That character is stupid. Not like it doesn't belong in the show.
Right.
The way the character acts is just stupid.
Yeah.
It's a good show, though.
I still watch it.
I know. I know. It's becoming more soap opera-y.
Is this the third season?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't believe you guys don't watch it.
I know.
It's totally in your wheelhouse.
I know it. We will. I'm
like
sure.
10 years from now.
Right.
Right. And then bring it up.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. We got to take a break. We've still got our listeners are awesome, and Jeff Hensley will join us. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show continues.
Serene. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the information.
Who cares if it's accurate?
Yeah. All right. Nature's Kiss. Day spa or dispensary?
Corbin,
yes.
that is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis. Day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right. So we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweets,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes you know it smells like
You're
a fig.
thinking medical marijuana.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Remember, this is for a big prize at the end of the
Sure.
at the end of the game here.
Sure.
You are going to love the prize that I have
Leftovers.
chosen for you.
Leftovers.
Right, it's a
Okay.
roach.
Right. Right.
Bong
And not
water.
the one you smoke.
It's the crumbs.
Laura Apothecary, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay is incorrect. The
Yeah, it's a
Laura
spa.
Apothecary is a day spa. Lucky Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That's a dispensary.
Lucky Garden, Corbin is a day spa. So far, we got 6 to Corbin and 5 to Lindsay. The Health Center, day spa or
Oh,
dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct. You sound like you've been there before.
To me, the name was just so obvious. There's no
Right.
way you're going to call an actual spa that.
Right, the Health Center. Supreme Heights, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct. All right, so we're looking at 8-5, Lindsay.
Okay.
All right, we're down in the home stretch of this thing. All right, the Enchanted Cottage, day
Corbin.
spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin is incorrect. That is a day spa.
Why are people calling here asking if we have weed?
Got any specials on an ounce, man?
It's called Enchanted.
Wildflower, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right, Clover Patch, Tulsa, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
What's the score?
6-8, Corbin's
Okay.
lead. All right, the Merry Mind, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a dispensary. All right, the Relax Station, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9-6. Path to Wellness, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a
Oh,
day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Was that the
wellness.
problem?
Yeah, I thought it said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Heirloom, day spa or dispensary? Heirloom, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Heirloom is a day spa.
Mm.
You're still in the lead 9-6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Day
Spa.
spa or dispensary. The Tulsa Garden is a day spa. Good job, Lindsay.
Score.
Looking at 9-7, Corbin's lead. Bella Roma Medical, day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin, Bella Roma Medical is a day spa. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Yes, you are correct, Lindsay. We are now 9-8, neck and neck. Who is going to win, day spa or dispensary, and walk away with a big, big prize? Stone Age Meds, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. The Stone Age Meds is a dispensary. Uptown Wellness, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. Uptown Wellness is a dispensary.
Really?
We only got 2 left here.
Okay.
All right. So we got a chance to tie it and a breaker if we can do this. All right. Pura, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin is correct. Pura is a dispensary, puts him with the win 10-8. I'll go ahead and give you the last one, see if you can guess it. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay would have been correct, which wouldn't matter because it's 10-9. Corbin is the big winner. Congratulations, Corbin.
What'd I get?
You want to know what you got?
Yeah.
My friend, I tell you, you have won my leftover potatoes. That's right, Corbin. I had
Listen,
dinner last night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I'm actually kind of hungry, so I think that's a fantastic
This is
gift. And
perfect.
you're not a horrible cook,
No.
so that's great. But, I just think it's just an honor to win, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to Lindsay. She put in a valiant effort.
Listen,
And,
Corbin,
I just appreciate the competitiveness. And, I'm just one guy on a team, and we're just a team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best they can.
Well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right? So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea. Set right up front because nobody wants this. So I grabbed a pack and you get to take it home with you.
Again, you put zero effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could and we'll make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place. His second isn't winning. So
Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right. Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
This says, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. Bmms. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that situation.
That maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
this isn't a problem.
This
This is a crack in the foundation.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get back, everything's right there, Yeah.
What are some other
And
things he could try?
I think he
Entertain the
begs,
idea.
goes
No
on
bad ideas.
hands and knees and
Begs?
What do you want me to? I will do anything you want me to do.
Yeah. Horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario. If you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem. Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
not enough.
Good and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man. You're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner. You're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that, because there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince for a second chance. What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
about
going to
myself.
send her on a spa day? I think he needs to go to her and definitely he needs to know from her what she expects from him.
I don't think
what he wants her to
Come
do.
on, Lindsay.
Come
on, Lindsay. Come on, Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her?
What?
Don't
she
have sex with
wants him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. It's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass. Give her an opportunity to even.
Let's see what Gimpy has in his 4x4.
Well, Colbin says here that NASA's Orion spacecraft returns to Earth. The Orion splashed down off the coast of Baja, California yesterday after completing its 25-and-a-half-day historic mission. Journey covered 1.4 million miles after launching from Kennedy Space Center on the 16th of November. NASA aims to use Artemis 1 mission to eventually get astronauts back to the moon. And more space news. NASA discovers hell planet with lava oceans. Scientists revealed the planet formerly named Janssen is so hot that it has an ocean of molten lava with a surface temperature of nearly
So hot.
a surface temperature of nearly 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
The sun said, Psh,
That ain't nothing.
I don't even know what the temperature is.
Come to Oklahoma in
here.
the summer. That ain't us.
Yeah, but it's a cool hot.
Right.
It's a dry heat.
Right, it's dry. Janssen orbits so close to its host star Copernicus, that the entire year there only lasts about 17 and a half hours on Earth. Wow.
You think this is you think this year whizzed by?
Yeah, right. 17 and a half hours. Boom, there's a year gone by. The hell planet is massive, roughly 8 times the size of Earth and twice as wide. That's a huge bitch. And is also located 40 light years away.
I mean, they're just guessing, right? There's no substantial data to back that up.
Yeah, we're not sending anybody out there to be like, yeah, grab that thermometer and go check out the heat on the hell planet.
Aren't they going, okay, it looks like molecularly speaking, it's made up of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And we've seen that somewhere else, and that temperature is this range. So we
Right.
feel, or it's a different one, so it must be more. I mean,
Using scientific methods to get to their
Yeah,
conclusions.
yeah, do they finally send someone there and they go, oh, like Mars? Didn't they used to think Mars was super hot?
All right, and they get there like, well, this ain't so. We
just
can actually
dusty.
live here. Right. It's really dry. Government scientists report fusion energy breakthrough. The U.S. government scientists reportedly have made a monumental breakthrough in harnessing the power of fusion energy. The Financial Times reports that scientists at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in Northern California recently achieved a net energy gain in a fusion reaction. The experiment marks the first time scientists have been able to produce more energy from the reaction than it consumes. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm is expected to reveal more information on the developments tomorrow.
So I saw this story and I watched a little piece on it early this morning. And all I could think about was when they did that, did the scientists when I'm watching the final seconds of a close football game, and then when they do it, do they go, wow!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're dorks. They get excited for weird
Do
stuff.
they go to the bar after and just get plowed to
Yes.
celebrate or whatever,
Yes.
open a little Debbie? Like,
Right.
or do you go, yeah, that seems okay. Good.
Right. On to the next one as they lift their glasses up. On to the next one, guys.
I would love to witness that.
Oh, yeah.
Or is it like, to me, it doesn't feel as monumental. It is. It's a huge moment. But, like when they crashed that satellite into the planet and people cheered. They were like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do the scientists do that too in the room? I just would love to be a fly on the wall and witness that.
I'm sure they do. Lastly, here, the Swan Brothers are holding a free benefit concert in Muskogee. The brothers will be performing a concert benefiting the Salvation Army on this Friday at the Muskogee Civic Center. Doors open at 6, shows at 7. Admission is free, but organizers hope that your concert goers can bring some non-perishable food item for the food pantry. So
nice of them.
Get a free
Very
show, bring some food.
They're very communal people, Swan Brothers.
So the Vikings surrendered 464 yards of total offense during a 34-23 loss to the Lions at Ford Field. The Vikings gave up points on every Lions possession in the second half. Kirk Cousins passed for 425 yards and 2 scores in the losing effort, while Justin Jefferson caught 11 passes for a career-high 223 receiving yards. The Vikings fell to 10-3. They can clinch the NFC North with a win against the Colts on Saturday. The 49ers ran their winning streak to 6 straight with a 35-7 rout of the Buccaneers in Santa Clara. Rookie quarterback Brock Purdy threw for 185 yards and 2 touchdowns and also ran in for a score in his first career start for San Francisco. Purdy takes over under center after the Niners lost Jimmy Garoppolo last weekend. Christian McCaffrey had 153 total yards and scored twice for the Niners, who lead the NFC West at 9-4. Seattle is now 2 games back after losing at home to Carolina on Sunday. The win, however, came at a cost once again for the 49ers after star wide receiver Deebo Samuel had to be carted off with an ankle injury. Tom Brady threw for 253 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions for Tampa, which has dropped 2 of 3, but still leads the NFC South at 6-7. The Bucs now hold just 1 game advantage on both Atlanta and Carolina in the division. Week 14 of the NFL season continues. Josh Allen and the Bills fended off the Jets to maintain the top record in the AFC. Buffalo currently owns the tiebreaker over the Chiefs, who jumped out to a 27-point lead and held on to beat the Broncos in Denver. Philadelphia is an NFL best 12-1. Justin Herbert and the Chargers outdueled Tua and the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. Week 14 wraps up on the New England Patriots visiting the Arizona Cardinals for Monday Night Football in Glendale. Both teams looking to snap 2 game skids. The Patriots enter Monday night sitting last in the AFC East with a record of 6-6. New England is coming off back-to-back losses in primetime to the Vikings and Buffalo Bills. The Cardinals are currently 3rd in the NFC West at 4-8 after falling to San Francisco and Los Angeles Chargers.
That's a game that I have no interest in watching, right? I'll check the score in the morning, but Kyler Murray, if anything, I want to watch to see him argue with Cliff Kingsbury. That's literally the only reason I would tune in. Because if they lose, there's a chance Cliff Kingsbury could be done there.
Yeah.
Belichick, they're not having the best season, but they could be a contender, right, in a wild card scenario. And Belichick ain't getting fired. He just ain't.
Right.
No, I think that they'll keep him just in case.
No.
Brady, you don't think?
No, he will be the quarterback in San Francisco next year.
I don't know. They say he has yet to say publicly whether he plans to play next season. First off, he's left all options on the table for 2023. According to a report from the NFL Network, the 45-year-old feels good enough physically to continue playing. Brady
Not if he
plans
played like yesterday.
That's what
Right,
I'm
exactly.
saying, man. If he keeps going like that, why don't just stop him? Just stop. He doesn't care. His
Yep.
heart's not in it.
His plan had long been to play through his age 45 season, but those close to him have wondered if he could now be more open to returning in 2023 than he was 4 months ago. Brady's set to become a free agent, so he'll have the option of signing with a team other than Tampa. Some have speculated that he could have interest in playing for the Raiders to reunite with Josh McDaniels. The San Francisco 49ers, Brady's hometown team, would also be worth watching. The Buccaneers are 6-6 and in first place in the NFC South. If Brady managed to put together another magical postseason run that ended up an 8th Super Bowl ring, he would probably be more likely to call it a career.
No, he is not going to be in Tampa Bay next year. They are not going to the playoffs. And there is no way. I would be shocked if Josh McDaniels is the coach at Oakland next year. They are not good. They fumbled that game against the Rams. Baker Mayfield didn't even know the playbook.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Dude, that...
Do you think the Panthers were like, why didn't you play like that year?
Because they wouldn't let him.
Right. Yeah.
They wouldn't let him.
True.
He'd done something to piss them off because they benched him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the idea that he ain't going to Oakland, that would be shocking.
Do you think Tom's just trying to get like a world record for being the oldest mother lover
I do.
in the
That's-
NFL?
No.
I do.
No.
I think he
I don't
is.
think so. No, that type of the drive to win a championship or to get a ring is, you don't just go, I think something in Guinness would make more sense to me. You ain't doing that. It is all about the stature. And that's the thing, right? Like people are like, he played so abysmal last night. Come on, man. That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
What do you think happened then?
He had an off game, right? If he throws a ball and his guy doesn't run the route, whose fault is that?
That's good, but it seems like he's had a lot of off games lately.
The team is injury ridden.
True. That's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay at 97.5 KMOUD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great.
Gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything for sure.
Yeah, that's no season.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right.
everything.
Or don't like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the bowl? Yeah. Some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever, that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that. But now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah. I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like I said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still, you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
even
my
a
appetite.
Dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No.
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and like looked around and said to myself, "That's so dirty here."
Oh,
ugh.
Wow.
What, do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets. They didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Look down my nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth. Right, if you walk into somebody's house,
if you're
and
a
it looks
hoarder,
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house, right?
No. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off
away.
guard.
No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering,
or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Right. I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever, paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, like I'm going to judge the food. So I'm not going to judge like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. Good. You're right. Life happens.
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dressed for less. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza. Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. Now, it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 no. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first.
You're so bougie.
Yeah.
You come over, get high, and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah, if you gotta, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because it's littered with empty cans.
Right.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag.
But
Clear off the table and it'll be fine.
Yes.
I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
Right.
All right. Just don't make people come in and be like, oh God. Oh God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with a brick wall of stank. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too. Don't go crazy, right? If you're unloading half a can of Lysol,
right. You're
gross.
covering up a
something
smell.
Yeah.
right?
Which will reveal itself in a
In
little
due
bit.
time.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
It smells like wildflowers and ass
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
Mm-hmm.
and mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which means you have a problem if there's stink in the
Yeah.
house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Yeah.
It's mold
Gross.
Yeah.
in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a little
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing is racing.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little
Yeah,
bit.
but you didn't.
You didn't exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. Y'all had a show some time ago about well-endowed men who have trouble with the dating scene because of their genetic disposition. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to catch the whole show. Well, I'm not sure how to ask this, but are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversations. What are my choices?
What is going on here? Are they trying to get us to hook them up with a big dong man or what?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a man or woman.
Okay.
Right?
Is this person trying to get us to hook them up with somebody with a huge schlong? I don't, yeah.
It's conversations like this that create an illusion that every woman wants a gigantic dong. Vaginas are all different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some, that's terrifying.
Right.
Some, that sounds exciting.
Right. Some, that's not even big enough.
Yeah. I have never thought if there is a website for women to go to find men that are well endowed. Now that we've said it aloud, I'm sure there's one.
Well, there has to be. They've got one for farmers. Christian singles?
Sure.
Why can't they have one? It's
Spoiler, those are all the same databases.
What?
Yeah.
Big dong dating.
And I'm sure there's one for this, but do like guys who like bolt-ons
Right.
breasts, is there a website for fake boobs, like only dating girls with fake breasts?
I feel like there probably is, but also I feel like that might be something in a profile, like on a dating app, like a question, like, do you prefer real or fake boobs? Or, you know what I mean?
I would know. I've never filled any
Me
one of those
either.
out, but that doesn't. You fill that out on a dating app. I don't take a lot of credibility with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're on a site as looking for a partner and the website is fakeboobsforyou.com, then you better have big old bolt-ons, right? Same way for girls looking for guys. To our listeners, they have awesome stories. And right now we're going to do Our Listeners Are Awesome. And Richard's on the line. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Hey, good. I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds. I'm putting Veronica on the bus.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Veronica.
Have a good day. Bye, Ronnie.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Yes. Yeah.
lady or something. I don't know.
Well, first things first, who's Veronica?
Veronica is my autistic nonverbal daughter.
Oh, my gosh. And so you make sure she gets on the bus every day.
Every day.
That's so cool, man. Those are those little things that count, right? And
Yes.
And you would rather do that every day than miss it. Probably is heartbreaking to you.
It is. We had to keep her home last week. She was sick. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't get to take her to the bus, but we do a little dance, sing a little song in the morning, get the blood flowing, and usually she does pretty good at school. Sometimes I got to go pick her up. But
tell me how you guys found out she was autistic.
We went to a doctor, and the doctor noticed that she was walking on her tiptoes, and she wasn't talking or making very many noises yet. I mean, she looked normal and acted normal from what we could tell, but then she, once the doctor saw that she was walking on her tiptoes, she did some more tests and figured out that she was autistic.
And so, like, nonverbal autistic, will she never speak, can't speak, or just chooses not to speak?
That is a good question.
Okay.
Sometimes I think she doesn't want to speak, and sometimes I think it's just she can't. So she has problems, communicating with you. When she gets her point, she can't get her point across. She gets upset.
Yeah.
Which, we all do. So it's weird.
Yeah. My wife and I were having this conversation this weekend just about how hard it is to be a parent. But to have a child that has some special attention needed to it more than another child, man, that makes parenting even like 10 times harder, I would imagine.
It does, for the most part. I mean, I've been with my girlfriend for 16 years now, and she does most of everything with Veronica. I mean, she takes care of her. She doesn't work. That's her full-time job is Veronica. I mean, I get my moments when I'm not working like crazy, but she does most of the stuff with her.
What are some of the challenges that most people wouldn't be aware of that comes with having a child who is a nonverbal autistic?
Trying to figure out what they want and what's going on with them. Like me and you are talking right now, right? Yesterday I was sitting on the couch and Veronica comes up with a glass and a bottle of Orange Crush and she wants a drink. But when she can't do that or doesn't feel like she can do that, then she just gets upset and frustrated and throws a fit.
So does she need assistance with pretty much everything in life, or is there some things that she can do on her own that you guys don't have to help her with?
The craziest thing is she can work an iPad and your phone better than you can. She knows how to she likes to watch videos, the same video over and over. She'll get on YouTube on the phone and she'll play a 5-second clip over and over and over. And it'll annoy the crap out of you, but she knows how to get all that stuff and do everything. And potty training was a big thing too. She'll go pee-pee in the potty, but she won't go poo-poo in the potty. She has to do it her way. She gets a diaper and has to watch her movie and do all of that. But we still have to, change her diaper.
Yeah. Man, I can't imagine the times that you have sat in reflection and questioned yourself.
Many times, many. What did I do wrong? But really it's nothing you do wrong. And that's the biggest thing. It was really hard to come to terms with that she was autistic because, at first I denied it. I had a doctor that I went to for 30 years and he said that nothing was wrong with her. And, the other doctor had said something and I denied. And then, coming to grips with that was the hardest thing.
How old was she when she started to go to school?
She was 4, I believe.
So she went through school at the regular progression.
Yeah. She went to pre-K, kindergarten, and now she's a junior. I'm sorry, a sophomore in high school.
And she can she write?
No.
So, but she can search for things on like YouTube?
Yeah.
That's
she knows
so crazy.
Exactly what videos are her. Yeah.
So she can put her thoughts into words to a degree, i.e. like, carrots and hit search.
Well, no, she has certain videos she searches through and the pictures that are there is what she recognizes.
Okay.
She recognizes those videos and she says, that one's mine. And then, YouTube's algorithm brings up videos that are alike and she'll find the ones she wants to watch.
So okay, here's a good one. How did she discover she likes said videos? I mean, did you just hand her a tablet one day and say, here, watch this? And then kind of it took off from there? Or was it more along the lines of, she's just playing around and somehow stumbled across it and then discovered, hey, I like this one, and this one?
Well, no, we started watching DVDs.
Okay.
Just movies like Shrek is one of her all-time favorite movies. Finding Nemo, and we're still watching those today. I mean, she's got a whole case of DVDs. When she gets tired of a movie, she'll change it out and watch that one. But it's crazy because she watches the DVDs and the phone at the same time.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking with Richard. Our listeners are awesome. We're talking about his 15-year-old nonverbal autistic daughter. Is there technology out there that could help her communicate?
There is. But man, that stuff is expensive. Just not even like the iPad itself is one thing, but they have programs that cost between $10,000 and $12,000. And then you got to have somebody that will sit and work with them and all the time. It's, I don't know. It's crazy. Every child is different, but every autistic child is totally different too.
Right. Right.
They have the same characteristics, but they act differently.
I'm going through your Facebook page here, and I noticed that she's part of the Special Olympics, which is an amazing organization. What is her favorite event to do?
She does bocce ball.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Fun.
The Italian pastime, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's so much fun when we go do those things.
And how much of it has she grasped that like how to play?
I can't really tell. She doesn't mind throwing the ball. She's got a really short attention span, so we'll do it and she throws it. But once she's done, she's done. She's ready to go.
Right.
And that she can let you know.
Right.
How does she let you know? That she just straight up and say, ready to go? Or she like throw
Yeah.
something at you?
Well, she has thrown stuff at us, but most of the time she just starts throwing her hands up and like, I'm done. She doesn't say it out loud, but she'll start making noises and it's time to go.
You said she's thrown things at you. Has there ever been a time you've been, I don't want to say scared, but highly concerned?
Yeah. When she has a meltdown and you're trying to get her calmed down, sometimes she'll hit you or she'll start hitting herself. And when she starts hitting herself, that's the scariest time for me. She can hit me all she wants. It's fine. But when she starts hitting herself and harming herself, that's when I get scared.
Right.
And probably my feelings get projected on her, and then she gets scared too, and it makes it even worse. And it's hard to control that emotion when you see your kid just beating the crap out of herself.
Yeah.
It kind of freaks me out.
Do doctors think that she might ever speak?
No, not that I know of.
Are you hopeful that she might speak to you one day?
I'm hopeful, but it's a long lost hope, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really expecting it. If it happens, awesome. If not, well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, huh?
Yeah, I found another set of parents that have a daughter just like Veronica. It's on Facebook, Fathering Autism, sorry. But their daughter's quite a bit like Veronica. She may be a little bit more advanced, but they're pretty much the same.
Let me ask you something.
It's really cool.
When it comes to like boyfriends and stuff like that, I mean, is that even an option? Is that a concern? How if that is a case, because she's involved in the community, she's involved in the Special Olympics. So in my uneducated brain, my thought is maybe there's a young boy there that she might show interest in, and maybe that could spark something. Is that something you worry about, or is that something you've even thought about? She's 15. In the next couple of years, she's going to be a full-grown adult.
Right. No, I've never really thought about it. I mean, I've thought about it, but it's more the thought of, she'll never have a boyfriend. She'll never have the experiences that I had growing up, the rejection and that kind of thing, which in one way I'm thankful for because she doesn't have to go through that stuff. But another way I feel bad because she doesn't have to go through that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She won't have the same life that we've had, dealing with boys and all of that.
You've got 2 other kids, and we are going to talk about them. We've mentioned how hard it is to have a child who is autistic, especially one that's nonverbal. But what goals do you have? For every parent has like hopes for their kids, and Gimpy asked about having a boyfriend or a partner, and you mentioned that will be pretty tough. What are your hopes for her? And that you, since you are in it, what her limitations are. What are your hopes for her? What would you like to see happen with her in the future?
The biggest thing is just her to be happy and me not to have to worry about her when I'm gone. That's my biggest thing is what's going to happen to her when I'm gone. As long as she has the place to be and do what she wants to do and be happy with that, that's all I care about. Because obviously I won't be around forever, and she'll be around after I'm gone. So I just want her to be happy.
She'll always need someone to take care of her?
Yes, always.
Wow.
And have you thought about, who's going to do that? Because we're all going to die someday, Richard. Think about it. We're all going to die someday. So, who takes on that responsibility? Is it going to be one of her siblings?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm almost 100% sure of it. I have a daughter that's 22 and, she's like in a really great place. You got a son that's almost 18. He's getting ready to go do his thing. So it's, they'll take care of her. That's their sisters. I'm not too worried about that.
That's such a hard conversation to have with your other children and your partner. Like, I can't imagine the anxiety you get just even talking about it with us.
It is, yeah. A little bit, but I have faith in my kids. Both of my kids are really good about stepping up and taking care of things and responsibilities.
How do you
get it done.
How do you handle all the stress with having a child that needs attention like that? Do you have an outlet?
I work all the time. No, my girlfriend, she doesn't. So she's probably under a lot more stress than I am. But I'm getting ready to go work right now till this afternoon, and then I'll go to the grocery store, and then I'll go to UPS tonight.
So you work overnights at UPS?
I work like 4 or 5 till 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Superman.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it, man.
For sure.
You mentioned your other 2 kids. You said you have a daughter that's how old is she?
She's 22.
Okay. And did she go to college, or is she in college?
She went to college. She's got a degree in forensic science and psychology.
Wow. So what can she do with that degree?
She wants to go work for the police department, the Tulsa Police Department, in their labs and do forensics for them.
Okay.
Excellent.
Help solve crimes using science.
Yes.
Wow. That's
And
very
then-
cool.
Yeah, then she wants to go to the FBI after that. So
Wow.
When
Excellent.
she told you she wanted to do that, what was your feeling?
I was kind of scared at first, but I'd much rather encourage her and just back her up. Say, go do it.
Right.
Live your life.
What about your son? What's his things that he likes to do?
Right now, he's going to Tulsa Tech for auto paint and body, but he's trying to figure himself out and what he wants to do after high school.
I can't imagine raising an a boy, much less being a part of an 18-year-old boy's life. And you put it very eloquently. He's trying to figure life out. I think that you're using very kind words. That is, I can't imagine how stressful that is.
Yeah, no, he's gone through a lot. His real dad left before he was born. Now, I've been with him since he's about 8 months old. And his real dad just came back from where he was and got in his life for like 2 seconds and then is gone again. We haven't heard from him.
Where was he at? Prison? He was in prison, huh?
No, he was in Venezuela.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. He moved away and then came back.
Dude, you've got 3 amazing kids. You've got this girlfriend of 15 years. How did you meet her?
She worked for me.
Still working for you, am I right?
Nice.
Yeah, she's still working for me. Yeah. Depends on the week, right?
Yeah. What do you mean she worked for you?
Well, I was a marketing and catering manager at Jason's Deli, and she came to work for me there, helping me fill orders and get them out and everything. And we just kind of got together, and I had already been divorced. And I was like, we got together. I told her, I was like, I don't want to get married again. I'm done. I spend too much money getting divorced. I don't want to do it again. And turned out to be a good thing because we split up a couple times over the years, but we've always gotten back together.
Right, because that stuff's tough. You don't make a bomber anymore the way you used to, right? A pastrami bomber.
Exactly.
A New York Yankee, that's what it's called. A New York Yankee the way you used to.
Yeah.
She saw you stack that pastrami on rye and throw a little Swiss on there and went, ooh, no.
Oh, I like the way you handle your meat, sir.
What's the best thing to eat at Jason's Deli?
Man, the potatoes are good. Can't beat a potato with some
Speaking
Put
my
a meat on
language.
All right, Lindsay, we ate a baked
Yeah.
potato in 100-degree
Loaded
weather.
baked potatoes.
Richard, it's
Love 'em.
awesome to talk to you, man. And it sounds like you have this amazing family and this 15-year-old girl who's just like a little beaming of light for you, and do the best you can to take care of her. And I'm so glad we got to talk to you, man.
Yeah, you guys too. Thank you.
All right, brother. Have a great day. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you later. That's Richard. Our listeners are awesome. We got to take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show.
Is really disgusting, right? Children, of course, elderly, of course. I think taking advantage of homeless people is really disgusting, right? I think taking advantage of financially insecure people is disgusting. People that have just had some sort of catastrophe in their life, like a flood or a fire, that's really disgusting. This ranks right in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's as close as taking advantage of a mentally challenged person.
For sure.
Mentally disabled.
For sure. Not that those two things are the same, but yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Like you're taking advantage of someone who's handed all their trust over. All of it.
So you can get a little pie.
So you can get your 3 seconds of joy. God.
But also, if you think about it, the sponsor,
If it's a sponsor, we don't know that for sure.
Okay. Well, if
we're just making
is,
an assumption.
they had to have been an addict at one time too, right? And
I
so
mean,
they've got their own issues.
Yes, but you don't.
So it's kind of like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, but they don't check your references on that. So a predator could easily infiltrate that.
Sure.
Right? Easily infiltrate that.
Well, seemed like a good guy when we interviewed him.
Man, he was nice. He always brought good donuts.
Yeah.
Made the coffee strong.
Right.
Too.
The coffee. He always made sure we had cream. And sugar for the coffee. You too. God.
Woman catfished by her female cousin for over a decade. And what's being called the most complex catfishing on record, 42-year-old Karat Asi is telling her story on a podcast called Sweet Bobby. So she met Bobby online in a private group with 50 people inside, all of whom were Bobby's friends and family. And they developed a relationship for over 10 years. This went on. There was always something keeping them from meeting in real life, including poor Bobby suffering from a heart attack. So she became suspicious because
in year 13?
Yeah, right. She said that some of those years she was in a romantic relationship with the fake Bobby. She believed he was living in Australia, and she had seen pictures of, come to find out, it was based on a real live man. But she received a message in 2013 on Facebook, a private message, saying that Bobby had been shot and was in a coma and suffered memory loss. And then in January 2014,
just trying to get out of it.
She learned that he had died. But soon after that, she receives an email out of the blue informing her that Bobby was actually alive, but faked his own death and is now in witness protection.
Goodness gracious.
So that's when she's like, okay, I got to hire a PI. I got to figure this
No, you
one out.
don't.
I know.
No, you don't.
Cut ties and let it go.
But she did. But she said she went through so much distress because she really cared for this human being. And, you know, it's like what we all hear about catfishing. I love this person. You develop emotions and real feelings for someone. So even though she says, you know, I know this is ridiculous, I was falling in love with this person. Then she finds out that Bobby was drinking heavily and was suicidal. In 2015, she was informed he had suffered a brain tumor followed by a stroke. Well, come to find out, it was her own cousin who not only made up Bobby, but every single person in that Facebook group.
No kidding.
She was.
No
all
kidding.
50 people.
Don't ever underestimate the links people will go to cover a lie.
Yeah.
I think that this possibly is a mental condition.
I agree.
On her. On her.
The person that got catfish?
Yes.
I was going to pin it more
How
on
many
the catfisher.
For sure. That's obvious. But we're like, oh, poor her. What do you mean poor her? She had how many signs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's very true.
How common is it to fall in love with someone on the other side of the globe?
I mean,
right? There was so many signs, but she yet still believed, and she believed and fell in love with someone. She didn't fall in love with someone. She fell in love with a story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She didn't know it was a story. She didn't want to believe it was a story.
Right.
There were multiple signs.
But that's like saying that people that fall for telephone scams, then
No, it's
there
not.
must be something wrong with them because they fell
No.
for this scam.
No, there's no. If it was one time, sure. This is 13 years.
Yeah.
Right.
They've developed
They never met.
not in person, no.
They never met visually. They never met
Only
got
pictures.
of somebody.
Mhm.
Right.
So she believed in a fictitious person. If an adult was walking around, cover your ears, kids, that they believed in Santa, you would say they are
Crazy.
So why is this different?
Because it's her. It's definitely. I mean, there is something there, but I do feel bad because maybe she was just very lonely at the time.
Sure.
And you know,
Sure, all those things might be
and
true.
desperate.
All those things might be true, but it was not love. Love is a two-way street,
Mhm.
right? There's no way the other person could have given love back. Maybe given affirmation, but could not have given love.
And it's her own family member. Assuming that they're close, she probably knows how to talk to her, what she likes, things like that, and really got into her mentally.
I was thinking if you were single again, God forbid, knock on wood, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
If you were single again and you were, how long do you think you would let it go of not seeing somebody? Forget the signs that maybe you would or would not see. How many times would you keep communication going with someone, much less say you're in love with them and never meet them face to face?
I think if I like starting an online conversation with someone, I would say 2 weeks. I would want to know see them in person.
Gimpy?
I was going to say about 30 days because anything can happen, especially if they, quote, live on the other side of the country. You met them online. So, I mean, traveling isn't easy for everybody. Okay.
Especially now.
Yeah, especially now. So I say like 30 days goes by. And if you haven't made the effort or the other person hasn't made the effort to let's get together and actually meet in person.
Yeah.
Then adios, bitches. I'm out of here.
7 days.
7 days, huh?
7 days. We can FaceTime.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can Zoom.
Skype.
Modern
Skype.
technology.
I'm just saying, right? I think
Yeah.
you're right. Like in traditional ways, like actual face to face,
Mhm.
we could do FaceTime.
Yes.
And I don't know about y'all, but I want to be in a relationship where I'm kind of important.
Right.
I like to come secondhand.
Whatever. You're getting married. That's going to have to end.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Remember the lady that was on 90 Day Fiance and she was selling her farts?
Yeah.
And she's making $50,000 a week
Off of gas.
of farting. She had some sort of gastronomical emergency, had to go to the hospital, seek treatment, and is now retired from farting in jars. She was receiving so much gastric pains
Mm-hmm.
that she thought she was suffering from a heart attack, had to call an ambulance. Ambulance came and got all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
And after tests and EKGs and all that, they were like, no, you just got to fart.
But I've been
Really?
farting in jars all the
Because,
time.
well, she was taking, to try and keep up with the man, she was doing all these things to try and trick her body into farting.
Okay.
From eating fibrous foods to anybody who's ever taken a protein shake knows how that works. And she was doing so much, her body couldn't keep up. And that they encouraged, she had to take Beano and all these things. And she's like, so that chapter's over. So if there's ever a question, can you fart too much? The answer is yes.
That makes perfectly good sense.
So stay off of beans. Too many beans.
I mean, too much protein.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have no suspect.
Still.
And it's because the internet detectives have said that this person who's a convicted killer that lived a mile from them is the one that did it.
Oh.
And the wife of this person has come forward saying they need to be left alone, that they're getting harassed and stalked, and they can't even leave their trailer. And she says that despite him having a history and also being arrested for abusing her, he had nothing to do with it. He was home with her the night that they were murdered. And I don't know anything about the belief that he did it. I'm more concerned with if you get accused and the number of people that harass you, you've got to move out of the city.
Yeah. You got to find a new location because that harassment won't stop.
And you've got to do it in a way where they can't track you to that next location.
Mhm.
Anytime I see stuff like this, or people going online and doing their own internet research to find who the killer is or whatever, I think about that Netflix show about killing cats. And they
don't F with cats.
Don't F with cats. And those people went on a hunt to find the person that was hurting this cat or hurt the cat video or whatever it was. And they found someone they believed it was, and that person couldn't take anymore and killed themselves.
All over internet harassers.
Yeah.
Harassers.
Moreover, the weight of believing there was nothing he could do, and he would have to wear this scarlet letter.
Right. Which you could have moved.
But they find you.
Else. You think so?
Absolutely. If they think you're the killer, they found you then.
Right.
You were a no one.
Yeah.
You might not even know that video existed. And you're suddenly getting harassed.
Right.
You're getting harassed. And then you're like, what's going on? And someone's like, oh, they think you killed a cat. What? A cat? I have 5.
Yeah.
I had 6.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, he did kill a cat. They had cancer.
Right. Even though if you humanely put it down at the vet.
Yeah.
You murderer.
It's crazy to think how that can get so out of control. It's so weird to me to think, total subtopic, but that every industry or thing we have, every media outlet, every utility we have is regulated.
Right.
But not the internet.
Yeah. It's a wild west out there. Willy-nilly, anybody can do anything they want.
Yeah.
How do you regulate it, though? That's the question. Yeah, I'm dead too much to talk about right now.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I say that because I don't think there is a way you can regulate it.
I'm not a big believer in never or not.
Okay.
So
we just haven't figured it out yet.
Because you got to find one that people are palatable with, right? Everybody's like, oh, Elon Musk is going to save Twitter. The video showed up of him getting heckled on stage, and he took that off Twitter. So he ain't a big believer in all that.
Right. It's his company. He can do
he absolutely can.
These people that are getting harassed, the murderers in the trailer park down the road, is there anything that the police can do, do you think, to protect these people? Whether they did it or not, they're still getting harassed. So is there anything that the police can do to thwart the harassment?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've talked about this with Jeff before. The police is a reactionary force.
Right.
So there has to be something that causes them to react.
Right. Like this guy calls up and, hey, I had an accident, in 92 and I killed a guy, served my time, I'm out. But
you
the
mean
people
clear his name?
Yeah.
They ain't doing that.
And then the people of this town think because I had a murder conviction that I murdered these 4 kids, and I didn't murder these 4 kids. I'm tired of it. What can you do to
They
him?
have said he's not a suspect, but they're not saying he's innocent, right?
Okay.
They would be wrong to do that.
Right, of course.
In the world of solving crimes, you want to eliminate suspects. You don't want to say they didn't do it.
Right.
I thought I read last week that they were looking for a certain vehicle.
A white Hyundai was the car, but they didn't really explain to me. It was seen, and they want to know who it belonged to and have some questions for them. But
it's just the lack of details on this case anyway is
big
so bizarre.
time.
For something that happened with people right in the room, it makes no sense that there's no evidence.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of cases that take 5.5 years, 6.5 years, 10 years to solve. They just solved some crime from the 80s. They arrested someone that was found for killing a woman. I think it was up in Wichita.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right? So it just takes time.
Right.
And people are going, people will forget about it. And they were like, no, we will never forget. Okay. The Girl Scout murders that happened here in Oklahoma, you it happened, but you're also, it's not in the news. You kind of forget.
Right.
You remember, but it's not like over top of you,
mind,
like the people that live in that community right now. Right?
Sure.
So you're gonna forget.
Right. Not remember as much.
Yeah. I just think that story is so fascinating. And here's another level. Go down the rabbit hole of reading some of those online forums of people that solve crimes.
Right.
Right? You get one guy that scuba dives and solves some crimes, and everybody thinks they can go be their own
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
detective.
Well, yeah, because I want to be internet famous too, man.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to do some silly dance to get there.
And even when he thinks he's found something, he doesn't lift the car up.
Right.
No,
He calls the police because there's a thing called chain of evidence.
Right. And if anything goes awry, he's on the hook for it.
Well, no, it's just disturbed. It becomes suddenly not admissible, right? Because the chain of evidence is messed up. So he goes, confirms the car or whatever, and then contacts the police. They excavate the body, or he doesn't do all that.
Right.
He may take pictures and then show the police. But the internet detective's doing this, like, what are you doing it with what? Online records?
Right.
Wasn't there also some frat boy that got dismissed from a fraternity in Moscow that they were going to question, but they can't find him now? Yeah.
This is the problem when there's no information from them.
Mm-hmm.
People start making up stuff. I'm not saying you're making up stuff.
Yeah.
I'm saying you go, oh, I heard.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I heard. Right.
You want to fill in the blanks so badly.
Yeah. Got to take a break and we'll be back. And the company that owned them in another market, they own a newspaper service, and the newspaper, one of the delivery guys that delivered the paper in the morning to, the stands or whatever, hit a kid and killed a kid, and they tested him and he was high. So they were like, we're drug testing everyone. And so they instituted a drug policy where you had to do a random drug testing. I go to London to see Kings of Leon. And then when I come back, they call me into the office like right away.
Right.
And they're like, hey, and I was friends with the business manager. He's like, hey, you have 24 hours after I hand this to you to go take a drug test. Would you like me to hand it to you? And I was like, no. And he's like, all right, tomorrow morning, I have to hand it to you. So whatever you need to get taken care of.
Right.
And so I went and bought like pea clean, like,
all the stuff,
broccoli or whatever, all the stupid stuff. And went and did the test. And when I did the test, they give you all these instructions, the thing, put it in there, don't flush, So I obviously have to pee like a crazy person. And because I've been holding it, and I go to the bathroom just like, oh, thank God, fill the cup and no problem. Done being a good boy, and I flush. And they're like, I go out and she's like, did you just flush the toilet? And I'm like, yeah. Cup's in the thing. We're good. And she's like, no, you can't flush. So 1 hour. See you again. See you in an hour. And you're like, and if you didn't do the test, they fired you.
Oh.
And I was like, So I went and ate and panicked. Went back and did it again and was like, did not flush. Like she even put a note on the thing. Don't flush.
Did she say like it happens?
No.
Or was she mean about it?
No, she wasn't mean about it, but she also wasn't empathetic.
Yeah.
Right.
She's there to do a job.
Right.
She's seen all the tricks. You go in there and you're peeing like you're running out of, like you haven't peed in days.
Yeah.
He is well aware that you're trying to pass a test. They're not stupid.
They've seen all the tricks.
Yes. Yes.
The question is, how many people lost their job there after that? Did anybody?
Good question.
No. No,
We're all Johnny Fever.
Of the places I've worked that have had drug policies, I've never seen and alcohol.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody get fired.
Wow.
And I know that some people didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe there was an internal like, hey, you get a warning and next time though,
we'll test you.
Possibly.
Yeah. I don't know.
I call this day spa or dispensary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, I've got some businesses. These are legit businesses in Tulsa.
Oh, fun.
It's either a day spa or a dispensary.
Okay.
Now, based off the name, you're going to chime in with that's how you're going to buzz in. Corbin or Lindsay.
Okay.
Got
You
it.
get one shot and one shot only because this is a 50-50 chance. There's no point in, hey, would you like to guess, Lindsay? He said it's a dispensary. No, it's a day. So you only get one shot.
Okay.
Whoever wins at the end, I got a big prize for you. Okay.
Like
Okay.
a little nug, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Maybe.
God knows you
Or
have
day
plenty.
spa?
Right. So, day spa or dispensary, are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, we're going to take it up from the top here. Euphoria. Corbin, yes.
That's a spa.
Euphoria is a dispensary. No points for anybody on that one. All right. Nirvana, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct.
Come on, Lindsay.
You got to get in the game, woman. Get in the game. All right. Omni Oasis, day spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Day spa.
Day spa is correct. So far, we're tied 1-1. La Fusion, day spa or dispensary? La Fusion.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. La Fusion is a day spa. Poppies, day
Corbin.
spa or the dispensary? Corbin.
That
yes.
is a day spa.
Yes, you are correct. Poppies is a day spa. 2-1 so far. Corbin's lead. OHG, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Tied
What did
up.
you say?
OHG. That's all it is. These are all the ones. I just found them on Google.
Sure.
I just simply Googled day spa and then Googled dispensaries and then found a bunch of them that
Sure.
are really close.
I just
and
couldn't
could be
hear. I didn't
confused.
hear you
Yeah.
because you were going so fast. I didn't hear you. I didn't know it was
I wonder
letters.
what that stands for.
I have no idea. Nonetheless, moving forward, 918 Elevate, day spa or dispensary? 918 Elevate.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Corbin's in a lead, 3-2. One Love Wellness, day spa.
Corbin.
You got to pick it up, Lindsay. Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, One Love Wellness is indeed a
Wow.
dispensary. Yes. Corbin killing it right now. Lotus Blossom,
Corbin.
day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
You are wrong, my friend.
You
Lotus-
might need to.
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa. Go ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a dispensary called Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold, not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
semantics,
they're
sure.
so close. All right, Indigo, day spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo, Lindsay is a day
Yeah.
spa. So
bummer.
far, it's 4-2. Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone, day spa
Lindsay.
or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay, you are correct on a comeback.
I've been there.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Right, of course. All right, Rosebuds, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm going to go dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct. Rosebuds is a dispensary, tied up 4-4. Jade Wellness Center, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a wellness, or that is a day spa.
Corbin. Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the
Yeah,
information that
who
was
cares if
given.
it's accurate?
Yeah. All right, Nature's Kiss, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right, so we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweets,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes it's night, and they had the main event was a fight for the belt to name the new light heavyweight champion, right?
Damn.
And so they do it, and it ends in a split decision, which means there is no winner.
Okay.
And when you put all that money into something to announce a winner, and then there is no winner,
Where's the money?
I mean, they still get paid for showing up, but there's no winner, right?
Okay. So there is no champion.
there's there's still no champion.
Wow. So how are they going to determine?
They got to have another fight.
They're going
they're
to
gonna
have a beat off.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know if it's that, but
Well, they're beating each other.
they have to have another bout to see who's going to win. But it's very, you could say it's embarrassing
Yeah.
for that because you don't expect, but that's part of it. And then there was another fight between two fighters that people thought the other guy won, but the judges picked him. And so people are like, that's unfair. That's part of it. When you go in there, you're totally aware you may let 3 people decide your fate, whether you win or lose. That's part of the agreement. So to be pissed or surprised is a waste of energy. But I love the S talk. There was this, oh gosh, I should show you. There's this female boxer, and she had a fight this weekend. And for her weigh, because they always do weigh-ins, right? They have, some of them do it behind the scenes, and then they have a ceremonial one where they introduce everybody, just part of the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
And so she wears this BDSM outfit, and she's stacked. I mean, she's got bolt-ons, right?
Okay.
And she's not ugly. She's a fighter, so her face is biggity. And so she, whatever, looks like a smoke show. The other girl she's fighting calls her a slut or a whore or whatever. So they get into the boxing ring, and the girl that was called a slut or whore annihilates her.
Nice.
Like, busts her up like she's, she's a, what's something you bust open?
Biscuits?
Sure.
Okay, yeah. Like she's a thing of Pillsbury Rise and Shines.
All right.
Yeah. I don't like the butter.
Yeah.
Are you out of here? The honey's where it's at, though.
Here's where I land with refrigerated biscuits.
Yeah.
The store brand are great value.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
You don't have
Pillsbury,
to-
flaky
no,
layers, man, all day, every day.
Ooh, flaky layers are good, but you can also get the off-brand. and
Yeah,
get flaky.
they're so good.
Yeah.
And the other, I always feel like the Pillsbury brand always has too much sugar in it. Here's a hack. Go to Sam's Club, buy their biscuits. They have already made biscuits. You just got to finish baking them. They're so good.
All right.
I did see a TikTok over the weekend, though, for homemade biscuits using 7-Up. Kind of want to try it.
I mean, yes, it's just a carbonation to put some air in it, right? It's just like when you make a tempura batter. By the way, whoever had batter recipes on their bingo card.
For real.
Yeah.
We started off with sexy female boxers and landed on biscuits.
Yes.
I love it.
The Lakers all-star duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis helped lead Los Angeles to a 124-117 win over the Pistons in Detroit. James scored 35 points, while Davis netted 34 to go with 15 rebounds for a double-double. Lonnie Walker added 18 points and shot 4 of 6 from 3 points as the Lakers improved to 11-15 with the win. Major League Baseball has denied that any so-called juiced balls were still in circulation during the 2022 season, and the league seems to have gone to great lengths to prevent anyone from concluding otherwise. It gets better. Meredith Wills, the astrophysicist who discovered that Major League Baseball used 2 different baseballs in 2021, analyzed more than 200 balls that were used during games this season and shared her research with insiders Bradford William Davis. She determined that there were 3 different balls: the juiced ball, a dead ball, and a third ball that insiders called
That's the weird one.
the Goldilocks ball, used during the 2022
I'm the second
season.
choice.
Which one is?
MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred insisted in July that all baseballs were produced using the same process this season, and the variation last year was the result of a COVID-era manufacturing issue. It's unclear how Willis collected the game-used balls to study, but one player says MLB tried to keep them out of her hands. San Francisco Giants outfielder Austin Slater, a union rep, told Insider that MLB discouraged him from sending any baseballs to Wills for testing. Slater says he was told that any MLB employee found to be sending balls to non-affiliated organizations for testing could be fired.
You said balls.
You go to a game, you take your kid, America's pastime, take me out to the ball, right? And you're walking in, you got your whatever banner because it's whatever. And the school, newspaper boys out front calling whatever. And you get your hot dog and you're walking to your seats, right? And little are you thinking that there's a big debate on the balls.
Mhm.
It makes sense because everybody's trying to cut an angle, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
To try and get into it, but
The league suggested in text messages to an MLB Players Association official to instead send balls to labs at the University of Massachusetts, Lowell, and Washington State University, which the league has worked with in the past. The union rep said MLB claimed they were not comfortable with game-used balls being sent from third-party
Well, hell no.
testing because those balls could have been distorted when they were hit around and thrown around. Slater said he did not send any baseballs to Wills because he was concerned stadium workers who were linked to the collection of balls would be fired. MLB denied threatening anyone's job, but did not dispute other claims made by Slater. Even with MLB insisting baseballs were deadened in 2022, there were still some noteworthy theories about balls performing differently. MLB obviously doesn't want any more life being breathed into that talk.
Enough talk about balls there, huh?
Yeah.
It makes sense, kind of, the integrity of the ball, because if pitcher throws a ball and it hits into it gets into the ground, they'll take that ball out.
Mm-hmm.
They won't use that ball anymore because the integrity of the ball is impacted.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, whole deflate gate and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, that makes sense how you can manipulate the balls to work for you, but you can't really do that with baseball.
You absolutely can. I mean, pitchers get in trouble all the time for keeping stuff underneath their
like pine tar stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Pine tar's batting, but sweat, or they'll put Vaseline on their neck, or even just like the runny
Powder.
nose.
Right.
Oh.
But that's
You're manipulating the integrity of the ball to achieve a pitch.
Gotcha. It's not like the actual ball itself. It's just the way you're using
Yeah.
it. Gotcha.
And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOUD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 96.
Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario. If you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem. Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
not
good
enough.
and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man, you're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner. You're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that, because, there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince for a second chance. What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
about
going to send
myself.
her on a spa day? I think he needs to go to her and definitely, like, he needs to know from her what she expects from him.
I don't think
what he wants her to
Come
do.
on, Lindsay.
Come
Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her.
What
Don't have
she
sex with
wants him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
There,
Give
yeah.
her an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
yeah. Usually works.
It usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted in what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. Just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time. So I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state. So I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk, and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
you came back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. Then the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't. No, it wasn't, though.
No. It was not my fault. But I mean, I kept going back.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping.
Mm-hmm.
You were hoping he'd love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, see you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, you know, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like what's something?
Well, she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and said she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're
I mean,
not
let's
really
be real
cheating
as
at
a
that
man.
point, are you, Scott? You're
Well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her with a pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation.
I hear that, like, well, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's going to be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings and going to bed at 9. Like,
yeah,
right, because that's our routine now.
No,
that's where we're at.
No, I'm don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh.
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I got to be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just going to be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans,
I
Corbin.
made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out. and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do, honestly. Just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time. And you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer.
Yeah,
it's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You S'd the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? 3 charged in kidnapping extortion plot. 3 people have been arrested after joining us like he does on Mondays is our friend from Hensley and Associates, Mr. Jeff Hensley. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry about that. I grabbed the wrong
headset.
headset.
So they're trying to turn the volume up, and I can see you getting frustrated.
I was like, why is there no sound? Where's it? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's in the wrong place. So, yes, I've got the right headset on now. Sorry about that.
Jeff is here to answer any questions you have about family law, custody, guardianship, any of those things. And you would be surprised the number of things you don't think about that affect family law. We're talking about this morning about Mike Leach, the football coach who had a medical event, and he is now I now just read he's in critical condition. His family has to make some life choices. That is something that you guys do handle with drawing up the paperwork that would be with that.
Yeah, we do. So, you can think of guardianships involved in that. And then power of attorneys have changed in the last year with the law change. And then, there's just so many things that come around with being able to medical directives, things like that. I mean, no one really wants to think about, well, who's going to make the decision about my spleen being removed because it's exploding and I'm incapacitated, but it's something that, we all need to think about at some point. So, it's a lot of things a lot of people don't think about on a daily basis for many different reasons. But when it comes down to this kind of decision, there's things we can do to help with that.
Like, for example, Gimpy is not married. If he had a medical event and he was in the hospital, and let's say it was at an event where I couldn't make medical decisions for him. And if he was incapacitated, how would that get decided?
Well, essentially the doctors would make the decisions at that point. If you didn't have somebody. Huh?
So just let me go.
But
it depends on what it is. I mean,
right.
Right. If it's something simple, we don't want you to die that way, Gimpy.
Right.
Come on,
you got an ingrown toenail. Just let me
let him go.
Let
him go.
He
has the hiccups.
Reminder.
But in all seriousness, that is a problem that comes up. Is that people show up, even people who are not married that maybe have been together a long time, that think that they suddenly have the decision-making power, and that's by law. That's not necessarily true.
That's very true. Yeah. And just because you can voice and say, well, I know that he or she would want this. You can say that to the doctors, but unless you've got the directive on it, then, they're kind of stuck. They'll try to do whatever, but at the same time too, they have a, do no harm and all these other things that they have to follow, of course, with their own policies and procedures of whatever hospital they work for, wherever it is, whether it's here in Tulsa or otherwise. So you look like you had said something. Okay. So, it's just something, we do all that stuff. If that's bothering you or if that's something you're thinking about, give us a call. We can definitely help get those things drafted up.
This is a fairly painless process to get that paperwork drawn up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just one of the things that folks at Hensley and Associates take care of. Divorce and custody are another one. This is one we got. It says, I'm currently getting divorced and my soon-to-be ex-wife is dating someone. She told my daughter, and my daughter informed me that she's engaged. She admitted to me she has an engagement ring, but hasn't answered him. Is she still able to get alimony if she's engaged before she's divorced?
Well, if the dude is living with her, the answer would be no, because the statute basically says, if you've got somebody living in your home, the legal term is, quote, paramour. Okay. That's applied for male and female. It doesn't matter. So that when we start using these kind of terms of fiance and things like that, in this situation, if you've got a paramour living in the home with you, then no, you wouldn't. So it'd be interesting to find out if she is, or if the person is or is not, that kind of thing. But I also will tell you, you better not say that you're engaged before you're divorced to a judge anywhere, or they will kick your butt. I mean, they just don't like it. You can't.
You're just going to get a tongue lashing? Like you're just going to get the...
yeah, I mean, they'll get chewed out. I mean, absolutely, you're not divorced yet, and how dare you kind of thing. So, be careful with those terms. But as far as alimony is concerned, I mean, that's a potential. They could preclude her from having alimony.
And talk about how when you go through the divorce process, and I'm trying to remember, and maybe it's changed, there is a cooling off period.
So when you have kids, the quote statutory cooling off period is 90 days. All right. Tulsa County is the only county that will not waive that 90 days. They are very strict about that and have been since about 2008. Smaller counties, you can file a waiver, and they're generally more forgiving about waiving that time period. Now, if you don't have kids, the statutory time period is 10 days. So 10 days with no kids, 90 days with kids.
So what that means is that once the paperwork's filed, it's a 90-day wait for the next step.
It's 90 days from the date that the person is served. The opposing side is served. So you can file, say, May 1st, but if you don't get them served until May 10th, then the 90 days doesn't start running until May 10th.
And then if I'm not mistaken, and this one's a little harder to kind of enforce, is that once you get divorced, there's also a time period of where you're not supposed to get married, correct?
You're not supposed to marry anybody within 6 months and this is, okay, so here's where the judges get divided, all right? And I've had this discussion with judges in all the counties I've practiced in at some point, all right? So the terminology that's given that I've heard is for years and years and years is you can't remarry within the state of Oklahoma for 6 months to anybody other than the person you just divorced. Okay. That's why a lot of people go across state lines and go to, Eureka Springs or Hot Springs or, fly to Vegas or whatever it may be. Okay. But then there are some judges that follow the idea of that means you can't remarry anybody anywhere. Okay. For 6 months. But, obviously people go and do it. And then come back in. Now, technically, even if they came back, I mean, and this is an existential argument. I don't know if we want to spend radio time on it, but, essentially it's one of those, if you have the argument that you're not supposed to remarry anybody and you do it anyway and you come back in, are you breaking the law? Technically, yes, but are you going to be prosecuted for it? Hell no. Why? Because prosecutors have way more on their plate,
right,
than people going across state lines to get married, okay? Murders, rapists, arsonists, child molester, you name it. I mean, they've got way more on their plate than people that come back in because they married too early.
I just know some people would be surprised to see those two steps in the process that there's a cooling off period,
right,
and that then you're also not supposed to get married.
Right. And the judge will, whenever you're getting divorced, well, we don't take people in front of judges anymore, hardly, because of the way the pandemic changed it. But, you used to be admonished from the judge, you can't do this for 6 months. It is in all the paperwork. It is in the affidavit and everything. So, just know that you're not supposed to do that. You can only remarry the person that you just divorced.
Jeff Hensley's joining us a lot, actually. It's surprisingly how often it happens.
I've had a number of clients that divorced and then, a year or so later, they're back together and remarried and all that.
Yeah, we're not talking about during that phase of getting divorced, it stops and you reconcile. We're talking full divorce. Your divorce is granted, right, and then being like, you want to try again?
That's right. Exactly. I have one that's I remember having one that they got divorced in like the 70s and then like 25 years later got married again.
Right. Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, you fished the whole pond by that point.
I guess.
Well, I guess you'll do.
Yeah. I tried the others, man. You were right. You are the only one. Jeff Hensley's joining us from Hensley & Associates. This email says, my elderly mother has been the caretaker of her husband for years. He goes in and out of the hospital for falling down, flu, pneumonia, etc.
Sure.
It's a vicious cycle. She finally told him she couldn't do it any longer and he needed to go to a nursing home. He is straight refusing. He is a veteran, but evidently there's no room at the inn for him any longer. My question is, other than divorcing or her moving out, is she stuck?
It's like the Eskimos, right? We just push them out of the igloo when they can't take care of themselves anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind, right?
That's right. Man, that's a tough question because the question becomes is he there mentally? Is he able to, is it just the fact that he's always sick as opposed to is he mentally unstable or he's lost his memory or whatever it may be? I mean,
so we're talking about like a conservatorship possibility.
Well, we don't use that term in Oklahoma. We don't have conservatorships here. We have guardianships. But when she's saying you've got to go or else, I mean, I think she's going to have to prove. I mean, other than divorcing him, she would have to prove to the court that he's mentally unable to make decisions, and then she could go and throw him in a nursing home. I mean, I get where she's at. It's a lot of work to take care of somebody. I saw my grandfather go through it with my grandmother. I mean, I get that, but other than divorce, I mean, if she wants to do something about it from a legal standpoint, she's going to have to prove he's incompetent.
But she's
not incompetent. She's kind of up a creek.
But if she's straight up refusing, there's no law being broken.
No, not at all. No, there's no legal law there's no, title 55 that says you have to take care of your spouse or else. I mean, there's nothing like that. She's, I understand she's tired, but the question has become, has she explored all her options? I don't know. Maybe she has.
Right.
We just don't know that.
Right.
As far as, help and all that kind of stuff.
Jeff Hins, that's why you should probably get that stuff lined up ahead of time.
Exactly.
By doing some estate planning.
Right.
Which you can also do through Hensley and Associates.
Exactly. Absolutely.
What about through sickness and in health? The
don't
wedding
think that's a law.
vows?
I
know.
Well, that's why we have divorce.
Yeah.
I'm tired of you being sick, so go to hell. And, by the way, I'm going to ship you to a nursing home, divorce you, and I'm going to, take your jag while you're at it. So,
Right. And I'm of the belief that you shouldn't have to have that in a vow to do that. You should just want to take care of the person that you love. Text came in. It says, I have a friend going through a divorce and they are dividing property. And my buddy bought his soon-to-be ex fake breasts. And he tells her he wants his boobs. She can keep he wants one. She can keep the other. How does something like that work out? This is
the second fake boob thing we've had in years. I've been waiting for another one. So this is interesting.
Guys believe this though. Guys believe that they paid for it, so therefore it is theirs.
Okay, I don't think there's any judge in the world that's going to order him to have one boob and her to have the other. I don't see there being
no
any
visitation
judge
awarded.
What?
No visitation.
Right. There's no visitation for the boobs. All right.
Supervised.
As fun as oh, that could be interesting.
Be careful.
But I mean, in this situation, I would say that the judge isn't going to do anything with it. It was marital funds spent on marital boobs, and
which are different than single
I mean,
boobs.
the money. We get into these arguments of 5 years ago, I bought this for her, or I bought this for him, or we bought this, and I want it back. I want to be reimbursed for the amount of money that we spent for that item, whatever it is, boobs or otherwise. And the argument there is look, the money's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The money was spent during marital time with marital funds. You don't get refunded just because you bought her boobs. Congratulations. You gave her a gift. I mean, I guess it was a gift for both of you, but I mean, obviously she wanted him or you wanted him.
Maybe not. Maybe that's why they're getting divorced.
Well, that's right. And that's what happened with our first conversation we had to this about 2 or 3 years ago. We talked about your situation and all those kind of things and how those happened. But I mean, if it's spent with marital funds during marital time, you're not going to get refunded for something that you spent for something like that. It doesn't work that way.
So let's just say you're married, you buy a motorcycle, you get divorced. She takes the motorcycle. How come you can't take the boobs?
I think you know the answer to this. One's an actual possession.
Right.
The other's a person.
Right.
We've kind of gotten rid of that.
Just slide them on out.
Well, right.
It's not a pillow.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
should be fair.
I'm
Jeff,
probably turning bright red, but that's okay.
Yeah, let's pivot away from that. Jeff Hensley from Hensley and Associates is joining us. You have a question about divorce, custody, guardianship, any of those things. Jeff can answer them. And what about the first part of that where they're dividing property ahead of time?
Well, you can do that. I mean, going into a divorce, whether you've got it filed, you're about to file, and if you want to go ahead and discuss with the other side about dividing up property, that's great. It makes things a lot smoother in the long run, simply because then we're not fighting over ice cube trays and Walmart dish towels. Okay, so it's great that we start working on those things to kind of decide who's going to get what, and then maybe there's a few items that we have to deal with in the court system, but otherwise, it saves you a lot of time and money for the attorneys to go in and start arguing over end tables and refrigerators.
Right.
It really saves the parties a lot of time to do that and a lot of money. So I think it's smart if you guys can do that, but obviously not every couple can sit down across a coffee table or across the kitchen table and start coming up with the list. So, but those that can, that's great. It saves them a lot of time and money and headache down the road. Absolutely.
And is it possible that do you get to go before the judge and say, she said I could have the gaming system?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, because anything that you've discussed is just kind of a negotiation, so to speak. So the judge doesn't want to hear that.
She can change her mind, or he can change her mind.
Exactly. Exactly. Unless you've signed a document that's been signed by a judge, you've just, you can do that.
It's all just talk in hopes that it lands.
Right. Exactly.
Jeff Hensley's joining us. Any question about family law, he can help. This says, I'm listed in my parents' trust. One parent has passed away. My sister is the head of the trust. Do I need an attorney to represent me?
I'm confused. So both parents dead?
No, it just says one parent has passed away. Does that mean that
the trust doesn't kick in until both parties are dead?
Right.
So if this is the case that one has passed and the other one hasn't, the head of the trust doesn't kick in until both parties have passed, because typically in a trust like that, if one passes, everything goes to the living spouse and they get everything. And then once they die, then the trust kicks in for the kids and whoever else is included in that. So,
right. Because if I'm not mistaken, typically the people alive are the executors of the trust until they are not.
Correct. So in this case, the other spouse whoever it is, would be the executor of that trust until he or she is dead. And then the head of the trust would kick in. So do you need anybody? Not right now. Not until the other spouse passes.
And can a child, in this case, go to court to change part of the trust for their parents?
It depends, and it depends on the facts. And you would want to call Perry Newman with our office in Pawhuska, who handles all of our wills and estates and probate stuff. So he can definitely answer that better than I can.
Because I've had people ask me, if you are the person that's been named to take the children or whatever, do you have to do that when it's named in a trust or anything like that?
So as far as taking children, I'm glad you brought that up. All right. First of all, you can't put who's going to get kids in a trust or a will. I mean, you can put in and say, because this is a misnomer. I thought this is a kid too growing up until I went to law school and found out it's not true. So you can put in a will that says, I would like so-and-so to take, to be the guardian of this individual. You're basically, through your will or trust or whatever, nominating somebody to be a guardian. But
keyword there.
Right. Nomination. That doesn't mean that they have to be. But what would happen is once you've passed, they would take that nomination and then go to the court and get the guardianship in place. But you can't sign over kids like property. Mm-hmm. And I thought that as a kid, I thought because I had
godparents.
Right. I'd say I had godparents growing up. And I thought, well, if my parents are dead, then, I'm going to go straight to them. I had no idea they'd have to go and get guardianship and all these other things. I didn't know any of that kind of stuff. I mean, I learned that once I went to law school. So that's kind of the urban myth is you can't just dump kids off on people once you're dead. I mean, it doesn't work that way. Even if you do, those people still have to go and get a guardianship. Otherwise, they have no legal rights to your kids, and you can't assign that through a will.
But there's an important step there that I'm curious to your thoughts on. If you, like, for example, if I say Lindsay is going to be the godparents to my kids and I pass away, it is up to her to go and get the guardianship. Yes. She does not have to and could just parade around as if.
Correct. She could.
But that's all illegal.
But the problem you run into, here's where the problem you run into is that getting them enrolled in school, taken to the doctor, going to the ER, those kind of legal decisions, she would have no control over. She couldn't do it because they would say, okay, you're not the parent, so I need something that proves that you're a guardian or you've got a power of attorney or something like that to show that you're allowed to make these decisions about the kids. And so that's where the hang up would be. That's where you're going to get hung up.
Now,
and schools enforce that stuff far more now than they've ever done.
Well, that's what I was going to say is even if I'm friends with Sally, Sally knows the trouble we've all gone through, turning a blind eye, or I know the doctor at the hospital. And are they going to put themselves in a litigious situation by doing that?
I think, you could get away with some of that stuff for a while, but eventually you're going to run into somebody that's going to enforce the law. And again, businesses, because we have become a far more litigious society than we've ever been, all right, you name it, clinics, ERs, schools, you name it, they're all more cautious about letting people make those decisions and not having to prove it. I mean, they are far more apt to say, prove you're a guardian, and then we can do this. Otherwise, sorry, you're SOL. You can't enroll your kid for school.
Yeah, guardianships are so important, and the folks at Hensley & Associates can do that as well as numerous other things in the family law area and help you get everything taken care of, whether it's some medical directives, whether it is a divorce, custody, guardianships, adult guardianships, because you're worried you're not going to be around to take care of your kid once they're over 18. You need someone that can speak on their behalf, like we talked with Richard earlier. Jeff and the folks at Hensley & Associates can help out. 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. And you guys do practice in other areas out of the Pahusk office.
That's right. Out of our Pahusk office, we cover everything else in addition to family law up there. So if you got a criminal matter, call them. Even if you're down here in Tulsa, they can still represent you down here in Tulsa. Criminal matters, anything, car wrecks. If you've been in a car wreck, please give us a call. We'd be happy to help you get the money that you deserve. If you've been medical malpractice, if you've got something that happened medically that shouldn't have and you need compensation, we can help with that. So they handle everything else outside of family law in addition to family law in all the counties, not just the ones in the northern part of northeastern Oklahoma. So please give us a call. We would be more than happy to help you get what you need.
And man, it's been another year in our partnership, and it's been great. I appreciate the continued trust in us, and looking forward to 2023.
I am too. You guys have been awesome. This is always fun for me to come and do this, and I'm very grateful.
Right on. Make sure you call the folks at Hensley & Associates, 918-398-5692. Mention KMOD. Get a free consultation over the phone in any family law scenario. Hensley & Associates, 918-398-5692. Jeff, have a great week.
Hey, you too.
We'll be back.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns next.
Conversations. What are my choices?
What is going on here? Are they trying to get us to hook them up with a big dong man or what?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a man or woman.
Okay.
Right?
Is this person trying to get us to hook them up with somebody with a huge schlong?
It's conversations like this that create an illusion that every woman wants a gigantic dong. Vaginas are all different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some, that's terrifying.
Right.
Some, that sounds exciting.
Right. Some, that's not even big enough.
Yeah. I have never thought if there is a website for women to go to find men that are well endowed. Now that we've said it aloud, I'm sure there's one.
Well, there has to be. They've got one for farmers, and Christian singles.
Sure.
Why can't they have one?
Spoiler, those are all the same databases.
What?
Yeah.
Big dong dating.
and I'm sure there's one for this, but do like guys who like bolt-ons,
right?
Breasts, is there a website for fake boobs, like only dating girls with fake breasts?
I feel like there probably is, but also I feel like that might be something in a profile, like on a dating app, like a question, like, do you prefer real or fake boobs? Or, you know what I mean?
I would know. I've never filled any one of those
either.
out, but that doesn't, you fill that out on a dating app. I don't take a lot of credibility with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're on a site as looking for a partner and the website is fakeboobsforyou.com, then you better have big old bolt-ons, right? Same way for girls looking for guys with well endowed junk.
Yeah.
If that's on, like, every guy's going to put that in his profile.
Right.
But if you're on a website of Tubuku, you better be.
Right.
I don't go to the chicken restaurant and order a hamburger.
Yeah. Do you have to upload measurements to be on these websites?
If they exist, I don't even know.
Right.
So far, I just simply Googled website for men who want to only date women with fake breasts. That seems pretty simple and plain Jane, right?
Okay.
Haven't found anything yet. Haven't found anything yet. A lot of, these are the 28 best things to know before getting a boob job, or the 10 best dating apps, blah, 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 blah. But nothing in here, fakeboobsonly.com.
Okay. I Googled double D dating website.
Was double spelled out, or you just put 2 big D's on there?
No, I wrote double D dating website, and there isn't one. One does not come up.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that there are websites that get that specific.
Yeah. On our trademark. On our trademark.
Yeah, absolutely. There needs to be.
People are vain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So my whole thing, if that was my company, is that you would have to do that across the board. So if you're going to have, doubleddating.com, then you got to have, tubuku.com.
Right. 9 inches or more.com.
Yeah. If whatever that is.
It is, yeah. I'm almost afraid to type that in.
Just like people are into feet. Like, there should be a website that if you want to date someone who loves dealing with feet as a woman and you're comfortable, like, there are people that's that rowboat has 2 oars,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What did you find?
Is there one?
Fatu. It says foot fetish dating platform. Feet worship and femdom chat. Fetish sex dating, the online kink community.
Yeah, I mean,
there's. I was just looking for dating sites about foot fetishes.
I guess that'd be a subgenre of BDSM, right? So
yeah, sure. Footfetishdating.com. Click. Footfetishmatch.com. So they do have websites that will get down into it in certain aspects in certain areas. Giant schlongs or mega boob isn't one of them. But feet. Why?
Lindsay, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically they want to know, are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversation. For the record, if you write that in there, I know you're not. Just saying, because if you were, you'd say something intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lindsay? How do you find a well-endowed man or person?
I don't know.
Oh, your
I
poor
mean,
husband.
I would say I found mine. I'm not looking.
Too late.
Yeah.
All right. What's done is done.
So I would say maybe join a matchmaker. Ask a matchmaker to help you out. I feel like that would be something that would be on a matchmaking site.
Right, but don't you think there's room for fibbing on that?
Yeah, definitely.
You get to embellish a lot on those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Picture of you and a dog, and they're like, "Oh, where's your dog? I don't have a dog." Oh, there's a picture of you on your dating profile. Yeah.
About that. That was my friend's dog, and I thought I would just,
it's a great picture of me.
Bring you in.
They do say that people with dogs in their profile pictures get lots of hits.
You want to, if you're a single guy, there are 2 ways to pick up women, in my opinion. A dog in a park. Go to a dog park. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Sure.
I hope so.
Offer to pick up your friends' kids at school where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it. All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk is going to start his own page if he's single.
Gimpy.
I don't know. I don't know where to start, and I don't want to know where to start. So my advice to this person is figure it out your damn self.
It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Dude, we are in a crazy sports news cycle, right? The World Cup, anytime that's going on, is already crazy. I know we as Americans don't typically follow that, but it creates some really crazy stories. 2 journalists have been killed at the World Cup.
Huh. Okay.
Right?
That's something you expect to happen.
Yeah, just crazy stories, right? The baseball story with the balls, that's a huge story that's coming out. Aaron Judge signing with the Yankees, huge story. We're into the bowl season, right? NFL MVPs, right? This Mike Leach story, crazy. Tom Brady, where's he going to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to top it off, a news story, sports news story, just broke. That's crazy. Texas basketball head coach they're the number 2 team in the country.
Okay.
Right? They're slaying everybody they play. The head coach got arrested this morning.
DUI?
Felony strangulation.
Oh, holy crap,
A
man.
domestic call, which is punishable by 2 to 10 years in prison under Texas state law. What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Being crazy?
Being crazy.
Who'd he strangle?
It doesn't say, but I'm going to suspect his wife.
Yeah,
Okay.
more than likely.
Right? What are you doing?
Right. You got the whole world here, man. You got a good thing going. And
Yeah.
you're going to ruin it all by choking a bitch out.
What? How do you? You got these kids? What is that? You lead a program. 7 young.
People are people, man. People are people. And
I know.
people forget, that I can ruin everything with this. But they just react their natural ways. Ugh.
Right. There's no he just decided to do that.
Yeah. That's probably. I'm not going to say it definitely has, but more than likely has happened once before, where you think that that's okay to do that.
Right. Typically, that's not something that happens out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
And just to think, man. I mean, you got all this cool stuff going for you. You're like, you know what? I don't care. I hate that bitch so much. I'm going to choke her out.
I mean, there's some rumors going on about what happened. Dude, they're supposed to play a basketball game today.
Well, the assistant coach is going to be taking up batting.
I mean, those kids they're not going to be in it.
No, their head's not in it. They're too worried about the coach.
I mean, it's not that they're going to be worried. They're just not going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be distracted by the questions,
right?
The commentary.
Right.
Well,
this is where a good coach would come in with a good speech and tell them, listen, it's okay. I understand there's a lot going on right now, but we got to focus, kids. We got to focus and we got to win this game. Let's do it for coach.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a motivational speech to get the kids going.
No, that man's going to prison.
Yeah.
For 2 to 5 years.
2 to 10.
2 to 10 years.
And the second offense, it can be up to 20.
Mm-hmm. And this is his first one?
First time getting caught.
I'm not. Chris Beard is his name. He's the head coach of Texas basketball.
Okay.
But come on, man. There's this term that as I get older, it means more to me.
Okay.
And when I was younger, it didn't really, it made sense. It just didn't, I never thought about it. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
Right.
You rob a bank, you may get away, but you may not be aware of the amount of money they keep in a cash drawer, which is not a lot.
Right.
You may get out with a couple $100,000, maybe.
Right, which is still a lot of money, but
you're done. First of all, you ain't ever having a bank account again.
Nope.
And not at that bank anyway.
Not at any bank. You're flagged.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you at a bank, right? Try to do anything without a debit card. Right. You could use cash, but not everybody takes it. It's not exactly convenient. Amazon does not take cash.
Right. It's hard to slide it into the phone. Same way with an Uber.
Right. Much less go to prison. Is that worth the squeeze?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
No, it's not.
Cheating on your wife. Is that worth the squeeze?
No.
Well, it depends. How much of a bitch is she?
The amount of divorce and headache it's going to cause you.
Exact. And money.
Right. Rather than just end it. and maybe getting killed over.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that worth the squeeze?
Right.
Metaphorically speaking. Right? Hitting your kid.
Right.
Is that worth the squeeze?
Right, I get it. You get your point across to the kid, maybe.
Do you?
But, there's a lot, the repercussions are way worse.
You do not get your point across to the kid.
If you get caught, though.
No, you don't get your point across to the kid. No, they just don't want to get hit.
You just look like a fool.
They just don't want to get hit. Kids just don't want to get hit.
Right.
It's not don't touch the stove. It's I just don't want to get hit.
So you don't touch the stove. Lesson learned.
No, but
it's
a
long way around it, but it's a lesson learned.
No, it's not connected. It's just I don't want to get hit.
Right,
I just do things so I don't get hit.
Right, exactly. So you don't do it.
So live in fear, yeah.
Rule by fear and intimidation, man. That's how some people do it. That's how some people do it.
A lot of people
by
do it.
Fear and intimidation.
Yeah.
And if you're not listening, I'm going to talk louder because you're not listening.
He isn't going to prison. Got $100. Says he gets probation.
It's not the NFL. It's college basketball, man.
Right.
Yeah. I don't. I ain't giving you $100, bro, because I know you ain't gonna pay. But I don't think this is gonna get probation.
Unless she drops the charges,
Nope.
No.
In assault cases, most of the time, if the police show up, there's a charge.
Okay.
Right? The prosecutor, the DA can drop the charges.
Okay.
She cannot play a part in that.
She could tell him, hey, I don't want to pursue this.
If the police have shown up and she had marks on her throat, it don't matter. He went.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If there's no evidence and they're suspecting of it, that's different.
And we don't know who the victim is.
Yeah, we don't. Right. But probation, I don't think so. I don't think the school wants that smoke.
Right. No way. No way. He'll end up having to find another gig somewhere if he can land another gig somewhere.
I mean, you're coaching one of the best teams in the college basketball in the country right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. Horns down. Hate y'all hate that. But I'm just telling you what the facts are.
Yeah. Which looks good on a resume, but they're like, so why did you leave? Why did you leave one of the?
You don't have to, dude. It's well known.
Right. In that world, yeah. Yep.
It's well known. You have someone go, I don't care if you strangled somebody.
Right. Somebody will pick them up.
Strangled somebody means you wanted to kill them.
Yeah.
Unless they're practicing jujitsu.
I was just about to say, what if, it's MMA role play night at the house, and he got her in a rear naked choke, and like the text says, she just forgot to say
She would corroborate that. We went a little too far. He didn't hear the safe word. You know what I'm saying? It would be a little different.
Right. The safe word's pineapple, and he said Granny Smith's.
They were called to the house on a domestic charge. He was arrested at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
No, that wasn't a safe word gone wrong.
I'm guessing that sounds like drunk and disorderly as well.
Sounds about right.
Tell me I was number one sim in the country. Seriously. Don't back about me. You said it.
And maybe it wasn't a spouse. Maybe it was a kid. A child, one of his.
Even worse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we would see that. That would be child abuse.
Okay.
There would be a charge for child abuse.
Okay.
Instead of domestic strangulation.
Maybe. I don't know. I would think.
Unless their child is an adult.
Well, then they wouldn't be a child.
Right.
But still.
Then they're an adult, Lindsay,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It wouldn't be a child.
So it would just still be domestic.
I know, but you're bringing, but it would be child wouldn't even be a conversation. They're an adult.
Right. That's what I mean. It would be still a domestic.
Anybody else, right? Somebody living with them would be domestic.
Right.
Doesn't have to be a family member to be domestic.
Right. Domestic being in the house, I guess.
Yeah. On that note, if it was BDSM, they would still arrest him. Would they?
I don't know.
Yeah, because they remember the baseball player. They were saying that was rough. That claim was it was rough sex that went too far.
Yeah, but she didn't corroborate it.
I think that's
Okay.
where the hookup is there.
Yes.
Is the other person would have to say, yes, we were fooling around and I like it rough. So he smacked me around and ended up choking me and just got a little too far. But if that's the case, then the police wouldn't be called. the police probably wouldn't be called because,
Right. Who's calling the police?
Exactly.
Right. Did she call the police? If she called the police, it wasn't consensual.
Right. But if the neighbors heard the whooping and the hollering next door and we're concerned.
Yeah.
Okay. But then even then, knock, knock, knock. Hey, we got a call, a complaint about some noise. Maybe some argument going on here. Hey, is everything fine? And she says, yes, he was giving it to me good, smacked me around a little bit, pulled my hair, and then choked me. That's bad. That's it. Oh, okay. A little rough sex gone too far.
I have a feeling he will lose his job, but he won't go to jail.
He's in jail.
But I mean,
he's in jail right now. They have not let him out.
But he won't.
Right, but do his 2 to 10 years prison time or
I
whatever.
I don't think he'll do that.
Maybe a little probation.
I think he's going to trial.
Community service.
Dude. Strangulation.
Right.
They may change the charge.
Right.
And he won't get that. But strangulation, they're going to get too high profile. It isn't Brad Pitt.
Big time football players, though, have got strangulation, and
that's different. They're going to go on and represent the school forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is a guy who's he ain't going to play. It doesn't matter. The loyalty ain't there.
Right.
And a booster covers that up. Right? It takes time for that to surface. This came out right away. On an upside, I don't know if Texas will still be good.
It says it doesn't matter if she says it was BDSM. If there's marks, you go to jail. Gimpy, you should know that you worked the sex club. It was a regular dance club.
All right. You have said it was a swingers club, which implies sex club.
Absolutely. But people weren't fornicating in the building.
Right. That's the important point.
That's the important part right there. Yes.
Well,
not actual traditional. Yeah.
There was no bed and
right, exactly. Nothing like that. When the lights, went out for whatever reason. Yeah. Power went out.
I'm curious if police, of our police listeners, if you get called and it's a sex, if both parties say it was sex, I can't imagine, even if there's marks, they're going to go.
Right, because they're both saying the same story.
And there'd have to be a little bit of relying upon the police. And even then, if you went, once it came to, went through the wash, I would think, I don't know. I have friends that got yoked up for assault and they've said it was sex. And the prosecutor's like, no.
Right.
But I think that was one-sided.
Exactly. I think if both sides are saying, hey, it was the deed, then okay, yeah. I don't
right. By the way, y'all defending it's weird.
Right.
Well, maybe it was BDSM. Huh? All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show, the Big Mad.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And you talk about people who go to AA who are being extremely vulnerable, right? Living in a place where they're trying to figure their life out, and then you get some predator. That's like a wolf in the sheep with the sheep, right? Like, oh man, trust is already eroded with some of these people,
right?
And then you go to a place where you're like, you're safe here. Come sit by me on the couch.
Closer.
Do you know about the 11th step?
This is actually a 13-step program.
Let's skip to step 69.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And this step's just between us.
Ew, gross.
It's not in the book.
Let me teach you a few things that they won't teach you in class.
Right. Let me give you a chip.
You gotta earn it.
Yeah. You want your chip on day 28?
Right.
So horrible. There's certain groups of people that I think taking advantage of them is really disgusting, right? Children, of course, elderly, of course. I think taking advantage of homeless people is really disgusting, right? I think taking advantage of financially insecure people is disgusting. People that have just had some sort of catastrophe in their life, like a flood or a fire, that's really disgusting. This ranks right in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's as close as taking advantage of a mentally challenged person.
For sure.
Mentally disabled.
For sure. Not that those two things are the same, but yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Like you're taking advantage of someone who's handed all their trust over. All of it.
So you can get a little pie.
So you can get your 3 seconds of joy.
Mm-hmm.
God.
But also, if you think about it, the sponsor,
If it's a sponsor, we don't know that for
Oh,
sure.
Okay. Well, if
We're just
it
making
is,
an assumption.
they had to have been an addict at one time too, right? And so they've got their own issues.
Yes, but you don't.
So it's kind of like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, but they don't check your references on that.
Mhm.
So a predator could easily infiltrate that.
Sure.
Right? Easily infiltrate that.
Well, seemed like a good guy when we interviewed him.
Man, he was nice. He always brought good donuts.
Yeah.
Made the coffee strong.
Right.
Too.
The coffee. He always made sure we had cream. And sugar for the coffee. You too. God.
Woman catfished by her female cousin for over a decade. And what's being called the most complex catfishing on record, 42-year-old Karat Asi is telling her story on a podcast called Sweet Bobby. So she met Bobby online in a private group with 50 people inside, all of whom were Bobby's friends and family. And they developed a relationship for over 10 years. This went on. There was always something keeping them from meeting in real life, including poor Bobby suffering from a heart attack. So she became suspicious because
in year 13?
Yeah, right. She said that some of those years she was in a romantic relationship with the fake Bobby. She believed he was living in Australia, and she had seen pictures of, come to find out, it was based on a real live man. But she received a message in 2013 on Facebook, a private message, saying that Bobby had been shot and was in a coma and suffered memory loss. And then in January 2014,
just trying to get out of it.
She learned that he had died. But soon after that, she receives an email out of the blue informing her that Bobby was actually alive, but faked his own death and is now in witness protection.
Goodness gracious.
So that's when she's like, okay, I got to hire a PI. I got to figure this
No, you
one out.
don't.
I know.
No, you don't.
Cut ties and let it go.
But she did. But she said she went through so much distress because she really cared for this human being. And, you know, it's like what we all hear about catfishing. I love this person. You develop emotions and real feelings for someone. So even though she says, you know, I know this is ridiculous, I was falling in love with this person. Then she finds out that Bobby was drinking heavily and was suicidal. In 2015, she was informed he had suffered a brain tumor followed by a stroke. Well, come to find out, it was her own cousin who not only made up Bobby, but every single person in that Facebook group.
No kidding.
She was.
No
all
kidding.
50 people.
Don't ever underestimate the links people will go to cover a lie.
Yeah.
I think that this possibly is a mental condition.
I agree.
On her. On her.
The person that got catfish?
Yes.
I was going to pin it more
How
on
many
the catfisher.
I mean,
For sure. That's obvious. But we're like, oh, poor her. What do you mean, poor her? She had how many signs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's very true.
How common is it to fall in love with someone on the other side of the globe?
I mean,
right? There was so many signs, but she yet still believed, and she believed and fell in love with someone. She didn't fall in love with someone. She fell in love with a story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She didn't know it was a story. She didn't want to believe it was a story.
Right.
There were multiple signs.
But that's like saying that people that fall for telephone scams, then
No, it's
there
not.
must be something wrong with them because they fell for this scam.
No, there's no. If it was one time, sure. This is 13 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS. And then what you want to say to 82945. Let's see what everybody learned. Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
If you thought the UFC was hard to watch before, Just wait until they air the beating off the championship episode. And Caleb Williams. Yeah.
A whole 90 minutes, man.
Episode.
I'm out after just the first couple of seconds.
And Caleb Williams of USC won the Heisman Trophy. So he joins the elite group of college football quarterbacks and also Johnny Manziel.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
Well, I learned that balls are causing problems, Corbin. I always have, always will. I also learned that there's nothing better in life than some mimosas, some avocado toast, and a goddamn Christmas parade. Yeah, that's right.
I learned this was literally said in the baseball world. Hey, bring your balls and put them on my desk, not someone else's desk.
Come on, let me see them.
Let me see those balls. That's literally said.
Yeah.
And I also learned, but have you had an English cucumber? It's Corbin saying, make sure that dishwasher's loaded right.
Lindsay, stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Far too kind.
And if you haven't made the effort, or the other person hasn't made the effort to let's get together and actually meet in person.
Yeah.
Then adios, bitches. I'm out of here.
7 days.
7 days, huh?
7 days. We can FaceTime.
Oh,
we
yeah.
can Zoom.
Skype.
Modern
Skype.
technology.
I'm just saying, right? I think
Yeah.
you're right. Like in traditional ways, like actual face to face,
Mhm.
we could do FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I